Welcome to the open book, where every voice matters. Every story got layers, and every conversation opens something new. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Every story got meaning. Every perspective shows. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Late night talks with the smooth bass knocking. Whole room tuned when the topics dropping. Authors, culture, real life views. Open book vibes bring a whole new groove. No fake energy when the dialogue starts. Different perspectives play a major part. From page to podcast, the vibes stay deep. Real conversations every single week. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Every story got meaning. Every perspective show. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Every chapter different. Every voice got purpose. Every voice got purpose. Turn the page.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day on today. Okay, please hit that like button. Let everyone know that we are live. Y'all, oh my goodness. Hold on one second. I just figured out something. I noticed what's going on with StreamYard. I had to trick it. Why do I have to trick StreamYard? What's really at play right now? Okay. Now, and I noticed, and I tried the same thing that I tried on yesterday. Remember when I told you I was trying to go live yesterday and StreamYard was acting up, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to just try. I'm going to come back, and I did test. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me let someone know that I'm live right quick. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it as a test. Okay. So when I was in here doing it as a test, all of a sudden it was working and people were already here. So I said, well, shoot, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to turn it into the live that I was going to do because I was showing it as a test. Right. So a while ago, I had my title for the live, and it gave me that same error message that it gave on yesterday that said that the traffic is unexpectedly high. Please try back in about 30 to 60 seconds. So I said, wait a minute. I know it can't be too many people that are live right now. So I took the title out and then I put test again. Why did it go through, y'all? So what's really happening? Okay, is it when I want to talk about Nolan Wells, it's not allowing me to go live? Come on now. I'm peeping the play. Okay, because it happened yesterday. They tried to do it today. Now I'm seeing what's really going on. Now, I was telling someone else to try theirs to see if it was doing them the same way, because that was just so odd. I had never gotten that error message like that, especially back-to-back days. Now, yesterday evening, it was a lot of traffic, okay? But this morning, child bye, I wasn't buying it. And I just tried it, and lo and behold, it went through when I put test, okay? And then I didn't have the title. Then I went back and edited my title. I was like, what in the world? So y'all let everyone know we are here. We are here. Hit that like button. Okay. This is part 2. This morning I had to do a short live because I had a training. And so we got out of training. So I said, let's go ahead and finish up. Hey, Shelly. Hey, sis. Let's see who we have here so far. Hey, HGY is in the building. Welcome. She said, well. Okay, come on now. Hey, Philly Girl Juice is in the building. Good afternoon. Hey, Tabany. Welcome, sis. I hope all is well. Good morning, but me is in the building. Hey, Sugar Mama Main is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My sis Shelly Shells is in the building. Girl, I was just telling them I had to trick StreamYard. I don't know if they're trying to shut it down through StreamYard, child. But yesterday it worked where I had to put test and then it went through yesterday. And so I tried it again. I had my title in there first. I took out the title and put test and it went through. I say, no, wait a minute. This is crazy work. Hey, Queen Shailene is in the building. Welcome. I thank everyone for tapping in. Okay, come on now. Why am I being why are y'all messing with me? Okay, because look, we just over here asking questions and sharing our opinions. And welcome to other Shelly in the building. We're just sharing our thoughts and opinions, and we are clocking the lies. Okay, baby, they don't like that. They say you may not be on the list, but child, we are going to make it hard for you to go live. Okay, so y'all, look, we in spiritual warfare. Okay. We in some spiritual warfare, but best believe, okay, best believe, baby, I have the right one that has me covered on all sides. Okay. That's what they're trying, Shelly. Right. Hey, Tranisa, good afternoon, sis, or good morning. It's still morning some places. Good morning. Child, look, the devil is defeated. Okay. No weapon formed against me, against this channel, shall prosper. Greater is he that's within us than he that's within this world. Okay, come on now, baby. We are more than conquerors through Christ Jesus. We are covered by the blood. This channel is covered by the blood and highly favored of God. Okay. And so we're going to continue to stand on truth. Okay. And continue to keep God at the center. Hey, Becca, welcome. Thank you so much for tapping in. Okay, y'all. So we're going to get right into it. So this morning, if y'all did not get a chance to tap into, it was a very brief live that we did this morning because I could not, like I said, I didn't know I had to trick StreamYard, y'all, but I could not get into my StreamYard. So we did listen to a short of a young lady that was sharing her thoughts about Bart versus Warren. Now, one that I have noticed, y'all, is that they have different attorneys. Okay, they do have different attorneys that are representing them. And when I tell you, this young lady brought up a very good point. If these guys start coming out, these witnesses, these young ladies, now we haven't heard from any of the young ladies that were there on the boat yet. Okay, we have not heard from any young ladies. We've heard just from Warren, now Morgan, and Jax. Okay, that's the other one. We have not heard from anyone else, and in particular, no women. Now we've heard from Katie through that one statement. I think she made a comment under a post. That statement was through her sister, but she has not been out to say anything. Okay. Make sure y'all tap that like button. Also, this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Check out Kennedy Reed that passed away from a car accident in St. Louis, Missouri last week. Okay, I'm going to have to check that out. I definitely will check that out. Thank you so much, Becca. All right, so let me share that for those of you this morning, we could not see it, and I'm a visual person as well. So I was going to share that first. Then we're going to pick up from where we left off with the newly released interview. Okay, so get your nerves ready, child, because that interview is a lot of gaslighting, lies that we can definitely see right through it. And one thing is, I was on my way to work this morning as I was thinking about this case, is that they are grasping for straws, y'all. Okay, at this point, it's like the narrative is just going to keep changing until the truth is going to fall out. Okay, at this point, because I mean, the more they change it, I mean, just go ahead and be honest and confirm what we already know. Okay, all of this trying to gaslight and say, oh, this is about race. Y'all they trying to make it about race. They trying to say this. No, we're beyond that. What happened to Nolan Wells is what we want to know. Okay. Hey, Marcella, welcome.
If this goes to trial like we think it may go to trial or whatever, how we think it's going to play out, I guarantee you 100%, I could bet money on it, that it is going to turn into a trial between Warren and Bart. It's going to be between Warren and Bart. Okay? Warren and Bart. And the reason why I say this is because I think people are starting to fold. Allegedly, and I'll make another video because I need to fact check it, but allegedly Katie posted a picture of her being on Horns Island that day recently. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because things are starting to come out. And people don't want to be a part of this. And people are trying to clear their name. If it goes down, it's going to be Warren against Bart. By Bart's name being on that phone call in that background, and Warren being the center of it all, it could go either way. And one of the reasons why I believe this is because Warren's father is going hard for his son, as a father should. Him putting up $50,000 for any information regarding Nolan Wells, and then specifically the Give Send Go when he was trying to raise $100,000, and they did meet they goal. They have $160,000, and they raised the price to $200,000. He named all the kids. He specifically named kids, but he didn't name Bart. And he was talking about like defamation, how these kids have to go into hiding, how their lives have changed. But he did not name Bart. And to me, Bart's name is everywhere. Bart's name is everywhere. But he specifically didn't name Bart. He gonna have his son back. And when those witness statements start coming in, or when they start to press these kids for real, if they ever make an arrest or press these kids for real, those statements are going to change. And whoever had anything to do with that, whatever, allegedly, if Nolan did die on a boat, they're going to have to choose a side. And it's going to be between Warren and Bart. And the question is, whose side are they going to choose? Warren is allegedly a good kid, good parents, has a lot going on for himself. Family, his stepmom is a judge. That's a big deal right there. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Bart has his future ahead of him in his football career. So if you were one of those kids on that boat and it goes down, and they ask you what really happened because the walls are caving in, what are you going to say? Allegedly, because we don't know. Allegedly. But it's going to go down between Warren and Bart. I'm telling you. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, what do y'all think about that? Do you think it will be between Warren and Bart? Or do you think Wyatt is going to get pulled into this where he has been, a little quiet? We haven't seen him in any interviews as of right now. Okay. Now, yesterday, we had talked about this attorney. Okay, let me pull up his picture. Give me 1 second. His name is Edward Palzik, okay? And we had talked about some of the connections between Edward. Now, we're going to see him today during this part one of, the Officer Tatum or Tater Tot is going to break this thing up into parts, okay? Hey, Jacqueline, welcome. And so we had talked about this attorney, how he is, first of all, the President Trump's defamation attorney, but also those of you who were following in the Ashley Janae case, he was also hired by Joe McCann, Ashley Janae's fiance, after people were calling him the murderer and that he unalived Ashley and so forth. Well, this guy here, this attorney started going after CC's, okay? One in particular was Lisa Darden. Hey, Phenomenal Scorpio, welcome. Lisa Darden. And it got so bad, y'all, that she retracted her statements. She even wrote what Joe McCann had written that a lot of people were questioning that whole statement he made. She pretty much echoed that. And on top of that, she made a donation to the foundation that he created on behalf of Ashley Janae. Now, I don't know, this lawyer, even in this interview that we're about to watch, is going to warn CCs. I don't know if some CCs, depending on, what it was, because we always want to peep the play, peep the pattern, what words or what he goes after to get them to start retracting and backing away. Okay. And potentially, y'all know they have this fund, maybe make a donation to the fund before they sue you. I don't know. Hey, so good afternoon. Okay, so his name is Edward Palsy, and so he is the one who was sitting in the baseball cap to the far right during the interview, for those of you who do not know. Okay, so let's get into where we left off this morning.
Push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like. It's really hard. And I mean, I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have. So.
And Ed, as an attorney that's representing these boys, I mean, what does that make you feel like? Do you feel like you got a good case here, or what's your perspective in that? Because people are online, and obviously they know who you are. Obviously they know you represented Donald Trump in some pretty high-profile cases. And so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here, you hear them say things like they've been accosted, they've been, threatened online. Does that make your case a greater case, or how do you work within what's happening to these young men?
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're going to get you. And you're going to be hauled into court. You're going to be held accountable. And it's going to be very painful. And what I would,
baby, when I tell you, when he was talking, it sounded like that president right now. Okay, he said, to me, that sounds like a threat. Okay, that doesn't even sound like a warning, child. That sounded like a threat the way he worded that. Okay, hauled into court and we gonna get you. Okay, who does that? Who says that? He sounded and echoed his client, child, because some of the stuff and how he talks reminded me so much of his client, the other one that's in the president role. Okay, hey, Q Film Media, baby, the threats are coming.
To say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave. You won't be able to get out of it. And we're not going to name names.
Look at the boys, though, y'all. Did y'all see their reaction? Look at this. They think this is funny. They think it's a game.
Say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave. You won't be able to get out of it. And we're not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess. We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal.
Now, when he said some other folks have named names, I think he was trying to throw shade at the spicy attorney, that Russell one. I think he was I think he was throwing a little shade at him because he came out naming names, child. They were going after Kimbra Lee, baby. Now, I don't know this list. Some people saying it's fake. The long list of content creators. Someone said allegedly that part is fake. But Russell did come out and name Kimbra Lee as one of the top ones. She was all over TMZ and everywhere. So I think he was throwing a little shade towards that attorney when he said that. The so-called other side should do the same to Tatum. Those boys guilty. They thought this was funny. Welcome, Space Gaze. Welcome. Thank you for joining. He needs to blame Tatum. Tatum started all of this. Well, they're blaming attorney Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. Yes, as you can tell, anytime they come out talking about sides, they're saying that when Christine and Elmore, they hired them, that was to them starting sides. Okay. But my thing is they can hire whoever they want to hire. Right, Becca. Right. Hey, like vegan. Did he say you can't leave? That's what he said. He said you won't be able to leave. He's sounding like his boss. I'm telling you. The gaslighting is on an all-time high. Right, Stephen, and welcome.
Facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right? We don't know how Nolan Wells died. No one here is saying we know. But what we do know is Morgan, Jax, and Warren had nothing whatsoever to do with Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And unfortunately, because there are people who want to divide a town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy. And I just want to say this. Here's why it's an even bigger tragedy. Because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer, finest that Mississippi has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer. You know, really great people. And Tyler actually taught me good Ocean Springs people. That was one of the first things I heard when I got here. So I'll
notice he keeps throwing in this patriotism type of thing. Have y'all noticed that about, oh, they're American? These are the best that America has to offer. Like, notice he's trying to throw in that good old boy, that patriotic theme as he's talking. I'm picking up on it. Okay. And they're looking at him like, man, he really believe us? He doing a good job. Okay. We ain't gotta say nothing. Okay. Yes, they don't want you talking about Nolan where they're trying to block. Yeah. Right, Michelle, and welcome. Now somebody gonna snitch eventually. Yes. We're doomed then if they're the best. Right. Phenomenal Scorpio. Lord have mercy. Nolan was the finest. Hello. Do he know all the men in America? Nope. Yeah, Nolan was American as well. And I brought that up yesterday when we were talking about the other part. Nolan was an American too. Okay. And have y'all noticed is this part too, when they go into, oh, this is so tragic and it's a tragedy. Notice no one ever offers condolences. Okay. It's almost like if you offer condolences, you are making yourself look guilty. I mean, I don't know why are we not saying, you know, I'm so sorry that Miss Christine lost Nolan. Like, all the attention is being put on them. They're not showing that family any compassion for y'all to be his brother and so forth. Like, y'all are not even saying we're, you know, our thoughts and hearts, our prayers, our condolences or something go towards the family that lost their loved one. It doesn't take anything away from you if you offer your condolences. I have yet to hear any empathy or compassion being shown towards the family. They so upset that they hired Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. See, the thing of it is they wanted them to be alone in this. They wanted to continue to label his death accidental, as they've done so many times in the past. And because they could not get away with that this time, it's putting a bad taste in their mouths. They really have to do the work. They really have to investigate. They really have to do a real autopsy. Okay. We really have to dot every I, cross every T this time. Oh, if we put out a narrative, they all over social media clocking our lies and inconsistencies. How can we get out of this? That is the question, y'all. This is not their norm. Okay. Now they're almost playing our game. We're clocking the lies and they're trying to come back and fix it. They're trying to, oh, let's fill in the blanks. Oh, they were wrong about this. Well, y'all not supposed to be listening to us. Okay. Y'all weren't supposed to be listening to us anyway. Go ahead. If you telling the truth, you should be able to stand on truth. You don't have to fix the truth. It just comes out naturally. Right. Nolan's life was taken. Sit there and believe whatever those little boys say. They know what happened to Nolan, right? You cannot play victim. You all finished what you started. Not dividing the town. Wait, all everyone wants to know is what happened to Nolan. Tell us, how does that question divide a town? Okay, you know. You know what they're talking about. Right. It was who was brought in. That's why it started being a division to them. Low key division. Right. They are the best of the worst. They could easily say, I miss my friends so much. I can only imagine how the family feels. Right, like vegan. I have yet to hear anything like that. They thought Nolan's parents were going to be deceived, like Carmelo's parents were. Oh, you got that right. You got that right. Okay, clock that too. Good point.
I'll just say that they're good Ocean Springs people.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're enjoying this incredible interview. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and also join our membership program. Let's get back to the interview. And how confident are you? Because you just met these young men more recently. And are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it?
Confidence not a strong enough word. In fact, beyond a reasonable doubt is not strong enough. There's a 0% chance that they did anything wrong. So this is not 90%. It's not 99%. It's not 99.9999. There's no decimals. There's no anything. It's 100%. 100.000%. Nothing.
Now, this guy has not even investigated this case. How are you able to say they 100% didn't have anything to do with this? You just met them. You just met them. You don't know what people are capable of. You haven't looked into history. You haven't looked into phone records. You haven't looked into Nolan's phone. You haven't questioned any witnesses. How are you 100%? You sounding like your boss when he be out here throwing them numbers out. Everything's great. Everything's 100. I mean, it's no issues, no problem. It's going to be big. We're going to hit you with this big bill. It's going to be humongous. It is, I am 100% for sure. He's sounding like his boss. Okay. And when I tell you these boys, if something comes out, you and Tater Tot are going to look so crazy. Okay, because y'all out here and they even if y'all pay attention to how the boys looking at this guy when he's talking, they looking at him like, you kind of overdoing it, sir. Like you doing a lot and don't even know us. They even looking at him like they trying to really believe what he's saying. Hey, Angel, welcome Sharon in the building. Someone needs to ask Officer Dum Dum will he let his sons go on the boat with those young men. Uh-oh. Right. He said no decimals. They don't like the idea that somebody is on their asses and they going to get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan. They can't take that. You're right. Hey, isn't she lovely? She said he looked into that money. Come on now. Exaggeration noted. Okay, Tater Tot. Hey, Tosh, welcome, sis. That clown needs to be scrapped each time Nolan's name come up out of his mouth. Okay, the Proud Boys, everything is justified, no accountability. Trashy Tater Tot putting those boys in silver jewelry. Oops. Not Tater Tot, the Tater Heads. Child. Ooh.
They did nothing wrong. And that's the problem for our opponents here who have ruined their lives, dragged them through the mud, and attack them. You don't get to lie. We have a First Amendment. We love our First Amendment, but you don't get to lie and hurt people. You want to lie and it doesn't hurt people? Fine. You lie and you hurt people. That's why we have defamation. And that's what this is about. So I just want to emphasize this in the strongest possible terms. Zero wrongdoing, completely innocent, totally innocent, and categorically innocent.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying, okay? I picked.
And you guys have had experiences with either people threatening you online. I know that, Warren, we talked about this before, and we talked a little, or at least spoke a little bit about when you go out, you guys are getting accosted by people. Can you give us an example of, or at least tell the audience an example of an incident where you guys may have been accosted, or what does that look like when you go out? People threaten you with weapons, or people trying to physically harm you, or people having to be restrained? What kind of engagement is happening when you guys go out?
We went to a restaurant, a couple of buddies of mine, and when we were, I wouldn't say threatening with weapons or anything, but I felt and I know my friends felt threat for our lives. I mean, I don't think there was like a fear factor, but at the same time, like it's awkward in public, like I stated, like when we have to talk about these things. But we went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, "Is this you?" And I was kind of like shaken up about it. Well, at first she asked like my name and like all these questions, and I was like, okay, whatever, she's just coming up to talk. Well, then she came up to me again and showed me our first interview and was like, "Are you sure this isn't you?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's me, like obviously." And she kind of just
Well, y'all, that goes to show you how quick they are to lie. I'm telling you, they probably have a pattern of lying. And if you could get over with just lying so easily, it comes natural to you. That makes me question everything that you ever tell me. If I catch you in one, especially more than once, you've been lying to me, I question so much. And so by him even lying in this story that he's telling, okay, and this guy's somebody he believed him 100%, sir, you might want to rethink that. Okay, the narrative is beyond me. Can we please get a legit investigation? What is stopping them from that? The good old folks in position of Ocean Springs, right, El? So are we supposed to believe that Ben Crump and Al Sharpton had someone approach them? I don't know what they're trying to get us to believe on that part, because I know I'm not believing it, period. Hey, Karen Michelle, welcome. Yes, girls, some folks don't. That's why I tell y'all, check the community wall, because I tried to share it as a backup. And girl, I had to trick StreamYard, because yesterday it tried to pull that same mess today. It did it yesterday, and I had put test to see if it was going to go through. And I'm sitting there, all of a sudden it goes through. I said, wait a second. So the test live goes through, but when I say something about Nolan Wells, it didn't want to go through, talking about traffic is too high. Y'all playing. Okay, so it tried that again today, and I had to trick it just to get into the live. So Warren is afraid of girls. That man can't be getting up there making no threats to anybody about what to say and what not to say on this story. Nolan's life matters. I agree, Becca. If you put the one in the gray shirt in a room, he will crack. Yes, I said the same thing, Philly Girl Juice. He, out of all of these boys, he looked so scared the entire interview. I did notice that. Right. He denied until they showed him on that interview. It speaks volumes. Exactly. He is quick to lie. No accountability whatsoever. Hey, her that the only ones lying, and then they the only ones lying, and then got the audacity to be laughing. Yeah, they were laughing when he said that. Hey, Uncle Charles, welcome for tapping in. Okay.
Looked at my buddy and I was like, yeah, we're leaving, like close everything out, like we're going. And I left, and there was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were going to kill them and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff. I mean, I wasn't there, but my friends told me this, that what the people were saying to them was like totally just crazy. Like, I mean, there was people like that were, outside of this telling us like, hey, you need to leave before something happens, because I know what could go down right now. And like, I know that these people are crazy. So, I mean, we all felt, we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group. And I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend and you have nothing to do with it.
And Morgan and Jax, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there.
I was there.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were going to kill him and stuff, but I did hear.
Jax and Philly Girl just clocked it too. Jax was not going to fall into that trap of lying. Okay. Warren seems like, in my opinion, he's quick to lie. Jax did not fall for it right here. Did y'all just peep that? See, he's trying to exaggerate things. Okay. You just lied to the lady. Now you're trying to exaggerate, add things that were not happening. Jax just called you out on it right here on the interview. He wasn't falling into the trap. Like Philly Girl said, you put Jax in a room and question him, he will crack and break. You can look at his whole body language right here, and you could tell he would crack. Right. Hey, Delta Roots. Okay, lies coming out so easy. Exactly. That's the scary part. That's why they need to really question him, really look into him because he's so quick to lie like that. Okay, that's exactly right there. We're seeing it in action. We've even gone back into the other interview and caught him up in some lies. He said no one had cameras in the water. I even shared it on my community wall, a picture with people with selfie sticks, phones all up in the water. What makes you lie like that? Okay, so we're going to counter your lies because we see it's easy for you to lie. And then you got the lawyer over here talking about believe everything. No, people better open their eyes. They better open their ears and their eyes and listen to the things that he's saying. Some of it is such a big lie. And his friend right here sitting next to him did not allow himself to be brought into this lie right now. Okay, it seems like fights break out wherever they go. Okay, clock that. Why does Warren sound like Beavis and Butthead with those long pauses trying to think of his lie? I'm taking my whole hour uninterrupted break, then some more break when the break is over because I got so much to say. This is a joke. Clock it, sis. All Warren talks about that dang friend group. He needs, you know what, child, look, he's just giving insecure. He probably is very awkward, does not know how to fit in. It was probably jealous of Nolan that Nolan knew how to laugh, have fun, fit in, and people probably like Nolan more than him. I'm going to be honest. That's what it's giving. Hey, Tabitha. Gray Shirt seems like he can be the guy on the audio saying Nolan don't die. He seems pressured. Somebody else said that too. Okay, somebody else said he seems like the type that was saying, "Oh, Nolan don't die," like he was scared. They ain't doing nothing but lying. If you know somebody going to be making threats to you in a restaurant, why the hell are you still going out and you know what you're going to get when you go? Exactly. Jack said, "No, I didn't." Jake said, "No, I didn't hear that, child. Let's see what he got to say about that call. Because I bet you 10 times to one, he didn't say too much because he don't want to get caught up in a lie." He's probably more of the one with the conscience. Okay. Did you see how Warren backed up a bit after that? Yes. He's like the ringleader. He wants everyone to believe him. Okay. And to go along with his story. That boy with the white shirt looks like the guy in the Cajun Navy that took Nolan pictures. Wait, took his pictures where? Yeah, he's the spokesperson. Okay. Yeah, he for one, this is Morgan, the first one in the white shirt. This is Morgan Warren's stepbrother. Okay. I don't know why he's even here. He's another Trayston. Nobody has really been calling his name like that. I could see Wyatt being in that seat. I could see Katie being in that seat. I could see Gabrielle or Briella being in that seat. I could see Will, because see, we want to hear from the people's names that we've heard. Grandpa, I could see him being in that seat. Morgan, I don't know why he here, because nobody's really called his name. You could tell how they're sitting uncomfortably and lying. They have definitely been coached. Yeah, right. You could definitely tell in the body language. This is why I wanted it on the screen so y'all could see what I was talking about.
Whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar." And he was like, "No, I don't have TikTok or anything like that." And she was like, "Oh, okay," and then walked off, and then came back with, like you said, the first interview, on her phone and showing him. She's like, "So this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger or this is you." And he was like, "Well, yeah, that's me." And then we got the check and we bounced, and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there. And while we're waiting outside is whenever some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was getting told that other people are going to kill them and all that kind of stuff.
So how did they make you guys feel did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
I think it was just like, I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened. And I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved. And he told me straight up, he was like, "If I was y'all right now," with was getting told that other people are going to kill them and
all that kind of stuff.
So how did that make you guys feel when did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
I think it was just like I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened, and I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved, and he told me straight up, he was like, "If I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt. Y'all need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe." And
oh my gosh. Shout out to Kara Michelle for the super chat and for being a sponsor for today. She said, clock how they were all advised not to say Wyatt's name. When it came to Wyatt, they say Buddy or whatever. Is Morgan's middle name William? I don't know what his middle name is. But yeah, they're not saying Wyatt. You're right about that. I did not hear anyone bringing his name up whatsoever, but I don't know his middle name. That's a good question.
I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing like almost like a mental game, like just to get into your head and just almost like make yourself like just think these things that obviously are not true.
If you can go back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone if you could control the environment? Nolan is found deceased.
Right, you feel.
How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything.
Look at Warren.
But other than
y'all see Warren looking at him. Now, you know what, y'all? For some reason, I feel like Jax was genuine right there. I don't know what y'all think. I think he was genuine, but I'm going to rewind it a little. I want y'all to pay attention as he's saying this. Pay attention to Warren's eyes and his facial expressions. Pay attention to that part in this little clip.
How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything. But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think those would have never happened. A lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion. And the fact that it was our best friend and it's not what people are saying it is what hurts the most. I mean, that was our brother. I mean, straight up. That's what I told his dad the night that he came over to my house. He was like, blah, blah.
Now, okay, I want to say this, okay? I agree with Q Film Media. Christine did not blast them. See, this is where things get mixed up, okay? She's explained that, and I've shared the short, y'all. She said that someone was saying that Nolan had on black shorts when she was in the midst of looking for him. But one, he was out there around a lot of people. Then she said a girl sent her some pictures showing no, it was not black shorts. It was blue. She was on her Facebook page, even going through, you can go through her page from back when all this was happening. She was asking people to send her whatever they had. Those were the pictures she received. She's sharing them to show what he had on when people are saying they last saw him. It was not them just putting out, oh, it's these white boys that he was with, like trying to blame them. Now, the reason she said that she had hired attorney Ben Crump, okay, and then he brought on and talked to Al Sharpton, because she didn't even bring on Al Sharpton. Okay, Ben Crump talked to him about the case, is because they were about to pretty much say there was no foul play, and that this was almost going to be like an accidental drowning without doing a proper investigation. Christine is from that area. They know how they play the game there, which is why she then went to attorney Ben Crump to get his help to help raise more awareness about this case, because she probably saw where this would have gone had she not. Okay, so all of this, she came out blasting them. No, she's never called y'all's name. When she was telling the story, she didn't even say where the phone was. To this day, she never said where the phone was. Now, the dad said at Jack's house, the car and the keys were at Jack's house. But Christine has never even said their names. She's never said the judge's name. She's never said none of their names. Even attorney Ben Crump, I haven't heard him say any of their names. Al Sharpton doesn't even know Ocean Springs or Horn. He doesn't even know those places like I did. Okay, so quit all this gaslighting and lying. Let's set the record straight on that. I'm so sick of it. Oh, she came out sharing the pictures, blaming us, blasting us and all that. That is not how that went down. Y'all are twisting that. And if she's asking, she wants to know what happened to her son. And if you feel guilty in that, you need to ask yourself, why do you feel guilty? If you didn't do anything and y'all are not providing her with any answers, and the answers that y'all are providing are pretty much lies and inconsistent statements. So I would have a whole attorney as well, because y'all playing games and I don't want to talk to nobody that I've caught lying about what happened to my child. Right, look at his face. Yeah. What was wrong with the picture? Exactly. The sheriff not putting pressure on them. That's why the DA and sheriff at fault, in my opinion. And the DA, she's just trying to get the she doesn't want it to be her decision, which is why she turned it over to the grand jury, because she knows it's a conflict. They all know each other. They're connected. Okay, so she didn't want, oh Lord, I can't have them arrest my friend's child. I can't have them do that. Let me just go ahead and send this on over to the grand jury. This video makes me feel sorry for Jax. I get he doesn't want to be a part of this, but doesn't want to snitch on his friends. Yeah, I can pick that up too. So basically, they mad it went viral. Yes. You don't believe your brother drunk on an island without his cell phone. Exactly. Jax is beyond scared. He has fear. Right. Hey, Life is Nikisha. The guilty speaks. They don't give Christine an ounce of grace. Hello. She had her son taken from her. They are beyond entitled. Right. Sardis said we put the pressure on Jax. He will break. Everybody seeing it? I live all the way in the UK. Oh, hi, Leanne. And I'm confident that one of his friends did this. They thought it was a perfect scenario, but they will unravel. Okay, come on. She's all the way in the UK. Thank you for joining. Looking at Morgan and Warren, the way they're looking at Jackson, how Jackson's looking crazy. Yeah, I think they peep, because you know Warren and Morgan they're going to have each other's back. Okay. Now, Jax, I think they kind of know. I'm like, well, wait a second. Jax, can you tell us who that boy was in the pool that looked scared? He almost got the scared little boy looking at pool. Al Sharpton said he invited them to sue him so this case can open wide. Okay, hey, Edward, I'm telling y'all, we want to know what happened to Nolan. I'm getting tired of their asses. If he was an investigative journalist, he would correct the issue on the interview. No, he is not trying to do that. He is trying to lead these boys. Yeah, that's pretty much. So this is the boy that had Nolan's car keys? Yes. They They better be careful. Alice, like Candyman, keep calling his name. He will show up with thousands of people protesting in your streets. Okay. Hey, oh, dude, welcome. Hey, Virgo lady. Shout out to Las Vegas in the building today. Welcome.
Saying something, I was like, dude, that was my brother. Like, and you know that. He knows that. We were picking him up every single day. He never drove. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up in his driveway and picked him up. And it wasn't him asking. It was just because that's what we did. We just picked up Nolan all the time. That's how he, came about to all the stuff that we were going to. We'd go and pick him up.
Look at baby Warren eyeing him. He could, man, if looks could kill. Okay. Now I'm curious to know, because he said they went to pick Nolan up a lot. Hey, Inspiration and Clarinetta, welcome. Why? I guess that particular day, Nolan's car and keys were over to his house. I mean, why were they picking up Nolan so much the way he's saying this if Nolan had his own car? Okay, I'm just not understanding. Like, that part's confusing for me. Hey, Ann is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Welcome. Busy day at work. We're trying to catch you. Justice for Nolan. Thank you. And thank you for tapping in all the way from Minnesota. I appreciate the support. Warren about to fall off the chair. But wait, y'all, just look at his body language even here. Okay, look at how he's leaning towards that attorney. Okay, he is looking upside Jax's head, and I bet after this interview, baby, they let Jax have it. He is not happy whatsoever with how Jax is talking. Notice he's the first one that I've heard that has a softness in his voice about Nolan, and like he genuinely seems like he misses Nolan and wish this did not happen to Nolan. Okay, he better watch it, because baby, Warren is eyeing him and he feels the heat. You could tell even Jax is leaned over away from Warren's son, because he feels that heat coming out of his eyes right there. Okay. Hey MJ, did y'all peep out the hat tip signs? Yes, we looked at that last night. Right. Warren stopped breathing. He did stop breathing. I think you're right. Pull up the pool pic. That might be Jax. No, it's not Jax though. I did look. I'm gonna look again. I'm gonna look, because I think I looked and I say, is that Jax? It looked a little different, but I gotta pull up that pic. We're gonna look at that after this interview, because now look, girl, if that's Jax, I'm gonna fall out this chair. Girl, we've been trying to find out who that is. Why are they acting like their best friend Buddy is a charity case? Okay, like a puppy. Y'all are making a good point, because we do now know that this was the guy that said to the father that Nolan was like a brother. That may actually speak volumes as to where his loyalty lies. Right. Hey, Hassan, welcome. Still wondering what happened to that. He did not make it back home. What happened? Right. Yeah, come on, Jax. Go ahead and get you that 100. What is it now, y'all? 175,000. Go get you that 175,000 and go tell. Pay close attention to what they say. Why would he say that's how it came about? What came about? Oh, let me rewind that, because y'all clocking that. Let me hear that part again. I was so busy looking at the body language. Come on, Jax. Come on, give us something. We rooting for you.
That, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think those would have never happened, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion. And the fact that it was our best friend.
Thank you for gifting a membership, Hassan, and welcome whoever received it. I can't see it on StreamYard. Welcome to the Open Book members. You were already family, but now you are a member. Thank you so much.
and it's not what people are saying it is what hurts the most. I mean, that was our brother. I mean, straight up. That's what I told his dad the night that he came over to my house. He was like, blah, blah, saying something. I was like, dude, that was my brother. Like, and you know that. He knows that. We were picking him up every single day. He never drove. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up in his driveway and picked him up. And it wasn't him asking. It was just because that's what we did. We just picked up Nolan all the time. That's how we, came about to all the stuff that we were going to. We'd go and pick him up. That's how much we like to be around him. We would do stuff like that all the time,
Well, first off, like I wish we would have never, like I think about this every day. Like I wish we would have never went out on the 4th of July, because I know this wouldn't have happened. Nolan wouldn't be gone. And like it's really hard to think about, because it's like I wish I would have done this different, or I wish I would have done that different, because now one of my brothers wouldn't have like passed away. But I think from the beginning, I'm glad that I called the Coast Guard, and I'm glad that we came together as a group, even from the first day when people started.
Now he shifted the conversation to him. Notice he's now trying to soothe himself, because see, now Jax is putting too much attention onto Nolan and that he misses Nolan. Now Warren, here we go, bringing the attention back. I'm so glad that I did this and I did that, and you are not even showing empathy or any emotion towards the loss of Nolan, which is questionable. Okay, it's very questionable, and that was a big shift right there in the conversation. Okay, according to the Lizard, Nick, that's not what he said. No one always wanted to come along with them. Oh, Nolan always wanted to come along with them. Yes, he did say that, Becca. Like he was a tag along. Like they didn't want him. They were one group, and little Nolan, wanted to be. So that's a difference too. Okay, Jax is saying, yeah, we would go pick him up. It's always like, let's go get Nolan. And then Warren is like, yeah, we would go out there, and Nolan would want to go, with us. It's two different perspectives. Pete the Hat to signal from the fake lawyer. I want to know who he was doing it to, y'all. They need to blame Sheriff Ledbetter. No foul play. Exactly. There's that was again. Right. Where's Bart? Bart is playing football this season. They clipping the hell out of this interview too, right? Oh, dude, that's what they were saying. Angel said, just because you pick up someone doesn't make you their brother. Uber do it all the time. Oops. Okay, you better clock it. These boys are told what to say, all rehearsed. Yep. But see, Jax, he was putting some emotion in there. Okay. I think he's trying to stick to some things too. But that little part, you could definitely tell, like, Warren wasn't happy with that. He said was like a brother to his father before his body had even washed up. He did. Yeah, he did. And he may not have known. I want to know who the girl was that called and did know. Okay. Hey, Sonia. Jealousy kills, and I think that's what happened here. Right, Delta Roots? Jax was closer to Nolan. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that too. Warren knew Jax was talking too much. Yeah, he shifted it. Katie, I don't know why she's not coming out. Where's the ex-military interrogation guy at? I know he about to dissect this one too. Okay, Morgan is the first one, inspiration in the white shirt, and Jax is in the middle. Passed away because they don't want to say something happened to him, Lockbox. They didn't want to say, that he was unalived, because they may look even guiltier. Yeah, they're all studying one another. My vibe from Jax was that he didn't really want to be there. No, he didn't. Child Katie hiding, hoping her name will go away out of this whole mess. But hey, she moving on up, inching up closer, because you got some info, sis. Okay.
Texting us things, saying, crazy things. But I wish it wouldn't have been reported as some type of race thing. I think it's really bad that like people are pushing the narrative, oh, this is a race thing. Well, obviously it's not. I mean, this is like a brother to us. I mean, Nolan's no different than anyone else in our group. And I just wish this wasn't pushed on the media as, oh, this is a bunch of white guys that killed a black guy, or this is, for like in the beginning it was like four guys went to a stranded island and dumped Nolan at the island and just left him there. Like, even from the beginning, it was just like this thing, and no one had facts, and they were just pushing this horrible narrative, all lies about everyone, and it's sick. So I wish that would have been completely different. I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been perceived by the media and portrayed. This has like been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than that, I mean, there's not much I would change from my point of view and my friend's point of view. I think we did.
And he's saying all that, they did all that so he could say all of that. We're not crazy. Why did you call Coast Guard? You weren't even in water. You didn't want to when you had a real emergency. So it's to be able to say, oh, look, I was the first. Oh, look, I called the mom. You ain't never called the mom before, but that particular day, you thought that you should have been the first one. Okay, Javon, they were supposedly closer, so why didn't you wait on Javon to call? Oh, so you wanted to beat him to the punch. So you could be like, oh, I even beat Javon. Child, we see right through all of that. Okay, trying to get alibis. Let's do the CTO call. Let's make sure we do that so to be on record that we at least call when you didn't even need them. Okay, so by you doing the first, making the first this and making the first that proves nothing. Okay, it proves nothing, but that is exactly what it is, right? They never said any names of the people that were on the boat. Exactly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that inspiration. I've been cussing so much. I'm just these boys are here. I just don't know if I've seen them out in public. I'll be cussing them out. Right, Becca, because you've been cussing more than I've noticed before. I say they done got Becca hot. No one but Tatum is reporting this to be about individual racism. Systemic racism is the state of Mississippi investigating this case. Right. OB, watch Jax look behind Warren's head, then shake his head. Okay. Somebody told him, suck it up. On what part? When he was talking? Oh, you thought it would just go away. That's what he thought. They thought we would be quiet by now. Wearing hats except for Jax. The attorney started pink shirt guy looking at his expression on his face. That's the attorney on the far right. Yeah, they're congratulating themselves for establishing alibis. Right, exactly. You really thought social media would not have questions. That's what he thought. Warren said he called because when they get charged, he gonna get the least time. Ooh. This is why Warren did not take Nolan to McDonald's for breakfast. Oh, when Warren was talking? Oh, let me see. I didn't see him look over there.
I think it's really bad.
Oh, okay. I think I just missed it. Okay, y'all pay attention. He looking
now.
to the side.
One of my brothers wanted to passed away, but I think from the beginning, I'm glad that I called the Coast Guard, and I'm glad that we came together as a group, even from the first day when people started texting us things, saying, crazy things. But I wish it wouldn't have been reported as some type of race thing. I think it's really bad that people are pushing the narrative, oh, this is a race thing. Well, obviously it's not. I mean, this is like a brother to us. I mean, Nolan's no different than anyone else in our group. And I just wish this wasn't pushed on the media as, oh, this is a bunch of white guys that killed a black guy, or this is, four, like in the beginning it was like four guys went to a stranded island and dumped Nolan at the island and just left him there. Like, even from the beginning, it was just like this thing, and no one had facts, and they were just pushing this horrible narrative, all lies about everyone, and it's sick. So I wish that would have been completely different. I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been perceived by the media and portrayed. This has been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than that, I mean, there's not much I would change from my point of view and my friend's point of view. I think we did everything right, and I know we did nothing wrong.
I think I also want to say, I think it's so criminal that they took something so anti-racist and flipped it into something super racist. Like they took, this is the definition of anti-racism. I mean, that we did not look at Nolan any different than I looked at him, or even you. You know, this is literally our brother. I mean, like we stated, we did not treat him any different. We didn't treat Trayson any different. We don't treat Trayson any different. And they just flipped it. And I just think that is so wild that they're pushing this thing that they're saying, oh, they want to end racism and all this stuff. Well, they're the one pushing it. They're pushing the racism. And I just think that's kind of crazy.
Morgan, what's your thoughts on this? How does it affect you?
First I want to say,
Wait a minute. It was said that y'all noticed that Warren almost admitted that he knew it was going to happen. Yes, I heard that. I did catch it this time. Yes, we did go over that this past weekend. I think Sunday, Virgo Lady. Yes, it was a really good interview. I've always thought that Bart called. His name was on some report, not Warren. Yeah, I did see Bart's name on that report. Why didn't they tell his mom that they had his phone when they asked her if she heard from Nolan? Like, that wouldn't have made sense. He knew it was in Wyatt's truck. Would have made more sense as to why they were concerned. Right. But you notice that Jack started saying that after he got that signal that Karen Michelle was talking about earlier, when he shook his head like, okay, here he comes with the racism to back up what Warren was just saying. See, I peeped all of that. Because at first he was getting into his emotions and really, laying it out there. But even in that, he was still sounding like, he missed Nolan. Joski, hey, how is he going to say he glad he did something when Nolan is gone? Yeah, exactly. That was to keep pumping himself up like he has this alibi, so he didn't do anything. Warren met Nolan first and was jealous because Nolan ended up being closer to the others. Yeah, no, Jack, don't go there. Please check it out. He hit the nail on the head about what happened. Yeah, he did. Becca, you silly. Okay, bump all of that. Where's Wyatt? Please report to the front. Come on now.
wish this would have never happened. I wish Nolan would still be here with us today. And, but in my opinion, I think that the media, they shouldn't have pushed a narrative from so early. I think that they should have let the local officials do their job, let them release statements, and then, the media is obviously going to see that and then do whatever they do. But that's what I trust the local officials.
Ed, with what has transpired, how does that dictate your response? Because you have a 30,000 foot view of all of this stuff, right? You see the way that it could have went, and you see that there's people that instigated the narrative that's out there now. And as a defamation attorney, how does this navigate your tactics?
Sure. And I want to be clear about something. Tonight, I'm not going to give any particular person any more oxygen than they may have already sucked up. But I will say this. What's been said about Morgan, Jax, and Warren, I'm not going to call them untruths or half-truths or falsehoods. I'm going to call it what it is, lies. So the first thing that's really important here is we're dealing with lies and liars. We're dealing with profiteers. We're dealing with hustlers. And one thing that I've seen since I got here is that Ocean Springs, Mississippi, is a really beautiful place. And the region is very beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country. And there is just no question. The death of Nolan Wells is a horrendous tragedy. But for the tragedy to then be magnified after his death for no reason other than profit is a disgrace, or what we would call a shanda.
I'm 52 years old. Last month, I caught my wife crying in the bathroom because I couldn't get hard in bed. She wouldn't even look at me anymore. We're basically roommates.
And I had the opportunity to go to.
That commercial came at an odd time. Okay. Oh, dude said intelligence is not their superpower. Hey, Roger, and you have my condolences. I saw your message last night under the video, and we're offering you our condolences. He lost his brother, y'all. If it was anyone else asking questions, their questions would have these boys squirming. That's why they're sticking with him. He's a safe place. Okay. Yes, you saw that? Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Hi, Nikar. Welcome. Somebody give that boy a clock for being the first to make or a candy. Okay, what emoji is that? That is too funny. It's the lawyer talking about his boss. Hello, clock it. We definitely dealing with liars. Hey, Linda. Right. He was told to say this. How would he know this? He was coached. Yep. Look how the attorney is talking about themselves, liars, hustlers, and opportunists. Come on now. We don't give an F about how Ocean Springs look, goofball. My family didn't go to the beach that weekend because it rained. They didn't get, Father's Day weekend chance to go. Oh, so they didn't go 4th of July. That's good. Okay, every picture, always hugging. They sure did. Y'all, that commercial took me out of here. Yeah. Okay, it was at the wrong time. Yes, we're live, Tammy. Yes, we just want justice. Don't even paint them as no all-American boys because they're not. Okay, I'm gonna play it again a little because baby, that commercial took us out of here. Okay.
We're dealing with hustle.
See the way that it could have went, and you see that there's people that instigated the narrative that's out there now. And as a defamation attorney, how does this navigate your tactics?
Sure. And I want to be clear about something tonight. I'm not going to give any particular person any more oxygen than they may have already sucked up. But I will say this. What's been said about Morgan, Jax, and Warren, I'm not going to call them untruths or half-truths or falsehoods. I'm going to call it what it is, lies. So the first thing that's really important here is we're dealing with lies and liars. We're dealing with profiteers. We're dealing with hustlers. And one thing that I've seen since I got here is that Ocean Springs, Mississippi, is a really beautiful place. And the region is very beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country. And there is just no question. The death of Nolan Wells is a horrendous tragedy. But for the tragedy to then be magnified after his death for no reason other than profit is a disgrace, or what we would call a shanda. And I had the opportunity to go to Horn Island today with Tyler and Warren and Jax. And a lot of people who have been sucking up way more oxygen than they're entitled to have not been to the island. I'm willing to bet that a lot of the hustlers and profiteers and liars have not been to that island. And you have to go to that island. And being at the island today.
Why would we go to the island over a month later? Why? What's there? What's there? Nolan's body is already gone, been gone. Anything, y'all should have gone the night of, okay, July 4th, when y'all first saw that he was missing, allegedly. Okay, so what we gonna do? What's there for us now but some dirty water that's been probably peed in, all kind of stuff. It used to be a chemical. They used to test chemicals there. I don't know how them people get in that water. That's just nasty. It's filthy. What are we gonna see there? Okay, that's what I want to know. So miss us with that part. Okay. They look right. They look confused, looking at him like, what are you talking about? It's another one of the attorneys. How you go from Hustlers to Ocean Springs is beautiful. He got an earpiece in, just sounded like Trump. He does. I told you, Catrice, you weren't in here earlier. I said the way he talks, he sounds like his client. Oh my gosh. Okay, his boss. Okay, could be have appeared a hologram of Nolan could have appeared. It sounds like a threat, right, Ebony? That's what it sounded like to me earlier, right? How can you sit there showing no emotion while talking about one of your best friends who has passed? Exactly. Right. They can't tell that they are making themselves look more guilty. What best friends start a search party for a missing friend or offer to take the parents to the island? Or you meant don't, right? Okay. Yeah, they did mess up some tourism. Okay. Hey, Grandma Five. Warren went to that hot beach, then sat his dirty, sweaty back on that seat. Never trust people who have no regard for others smelling their funk. You silly. Okay, what is that hanging on the wall of their background? Symbolism. I don't know. Hey, Mama Magazine, welcome, sis. I have watched enough of Mississippi Burning to see through all of the BS. Okay. J. Rose said, truth is the parents have never once accused them. And in fact, Elmore said he didn't believe it was about race, and perhaps it's not. It still doesn't change. No one knows what happened to Nolan, right? What proof is there that this was done for profit? Exactly. Okay. Someone said, let's see, they aren't, because someone said they aren't racist on the coast, and I told her that someone just was found hung. Oh yes, exactly. Okay, we got to see what happened with that as well. Where Officer Hayden hustling ass went. Okay, he went and still didn't give no answer. Child, bye. Hey, Queen Patrice is in the building. I definitely don't want to go to the Devil Horn Island. And that song, Mary had a little lamb. Miss me with that crap. I ain't trying to go there either. I'm like Al Sharpton, baby. What's Ocean Springs? What's Horns Island? I mean, what would we go there for right now, anyways? Nothing's there. Okay.
Was revelatory. It was really illuminating. It's a very dynamic marine environment, first of all. But when you go to the island, you see instantly that what some people want to be true, what they wish to be true, they're trying to wish it to be true. They're trying to make it true through their lies. It's actually not possible. It is a very, very long and narrow barrier island. It's basically very low sand dunes. And in the particular part of the island that we're dealing with, there are no trees. It's hardly any foliage, hardly any tree cover, hardly any plants, and it's wide open. And on July 4th, there were...
Did he just debunk what Officer Tater Tot said the other day on that interview where he tried to switch it up and say, oh, Nolan could have went to, have some privacy to use the restroom? Well, he's saying there's nothing out there. I need them to get together and get their lies straight. Okay, because the Officer Taterhead, he said, oh, maybe he went off, and something could have happened. Now he's putting all these assumptions. No, don't put all those assumptions of what could have happened. What did happen? Okay. They said her BF did it, but how? She was so high up, they needed a rescue team to get her down. Oh, yeah, that's true. Hey, Jacqueline, I wish that the judge turned lawyer out of GA could be involved. He's already said what he would be doing, questioning, subpoenas, and lockup. Oh, yeah. Carlos Moore, Mississippi ain't ever got to worry about my black ass or my black dollars. I know that's right. Okay, my best friend passed in 2002, and I can't even bring up her name without getting emotional, period. I'm so sorry to hear that, J. Rose. And that's true. I've seen the most emotion, I think, is through Jax, and how he was talking about Nolan. This reminds me of Al's speech. When you turn the lights on, the roaches will come running out. Okay, come on now. Yes. Hey, Simone. Okay, a row or above some bars. I don't see the row or. Not possible to lie. Well, your lies are going to get you caught up, you fools. Clarinetta said, I guess they thought by bringing this bozo around, somebody was going to be scared Heck, the YC boys going to laugh. Yeah, you know they're gonna laugh. They were laughing at him earlier. Yes, baby. They are looking at him like, sir, you doing too much.
Thousands of people there. There is no possible way that anybody could have committed a murder in broad daylight on a barren, windswept island that is narrow and was just swamped with people that day in broad daylight. It's just not possible given the natural environment there. And that leads me to the next point, which is this. Once you know what the timeline is, when you combine the timeline with the actual dynamics of the island itself, all of the lies completely unravel because it isn't possible. And here's why. Morgan, Warren, and Jax left the island at about 4:30 p.m. That's it. They were gone. That is not open for debate. So that's a fact. They were gone. And at that time, Nolan Wells was still alive.
Now I want to know if Bart would have that same story. Okay. Well, all of them had the same coordination, because now how do you explain Warren's mom's post when she said they left at 5 o'clock? His own mother said that. So, I mean, who has the right story? They said they would help Nolan get home safely, no accountability. Maybe he wasn't killed at the lake. Maybe he was taken later. Right. No one's talking about that part. Okay. It could have been, I know we heard what was taking place on the CTO call, but like I've stated, was he fully gone on the water? Okay. What happened when they got back? See, Katie was supposed to have been there too. They were all supposed to head back to that location. So then they talking about, oh, well, we saw Katie, but Nolan wasn't with her. Well, how did Katie get back? We're still trying to find that out. We're still trying to figure that out. Now, I know that Nerdy Pink Panda, she had her thoughts on who Katie could have rolled back with too. Okay, and she shared that in one of her posts. You think it's out of regret, not love? Okay. Are we sticking with 4:30? Right. Pick one. Thought it was 3, 5. We getting everyone all the times. That lawyer seems a little sweet to me. Doesn't know Jack. Need GPS data for the boats from the time he was missing to 2 days later. Right. And that's from all of the boats that were a part of the group, not just 1 or 2. Hey, Tanya, that's what they told him. That don't make it true. He sounds stupid. Attorney thinks we're dumb. Roger said, I'm just wondering, why are we still on Sesame Street asking Cookie Monster questions when they should be in a real interrogation room with real police who hold real badges asking some real questions? Clock that, Roger. Okay. Y'all, if you want to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, Cash App, or buy a coffee. And those links are in the chat. Yes, thank you to all the members that are lit up in green. Shout out to the mods in the building on today as well. They did too much traveling on that sinking boat, so there were different places the crime could have taken place. That's what I'm saying, Phenomenal Scorpio. That's true. Okay, that is a very good point.
I'm not going to name them out of respect for their privacy, but just as one example, there are 2 very fine, upstanding members of the Ocean Springs community who saw Nolan Wells at about 10 minutes to 6 p.m. So about an hour and a half after these fine young men had left the island, they were gone, departed. Nolan Wells was alive. And these 2 witnesses, 2 very reliable, very credible, and very upstanding members of the community, they saw Nolan.
I want to know that too, Stacy. Which one said the Amit Bart? Shout out to Steven for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. I appreciate all of the support. Shout out to every sponsor in the building on today. J. Rose said, no, they would not have the same story. So now it's 3 against Wyatt and Bart. Make it plain, neo-Nazi.
And they've known Nolan for years. There's no chance that they made a mistake. And by the way, this can be corroborated through other evidence, other eyewitness accounts. And that's the end of it right there. And that's before we get into everything else about the situation.
And when I look at this, I feel like there's levels of defamation and areas of defamation. And I'm not going to speak on your behalf because this is y'all's story to tell, your story to litigate. But which areas are the most egregious that you are going to go after, or that you guys think also are areas where people have taken this situation and clearly lied to the public? One being the phone call. What is your thoughts on that phone call to Cito? Some people have gone out and done enhancements to the audio, and in doing that, created a transcript manually. It doesn't appear that the transcript was derived from an automated system or have any, in my opinion, real integrity with it. What are your thoughts, first, you guys, on the audio, and then I'll get to you, Ed, on could that be a defamatory area the way it was produced? So what do you guys think about that audio?
Okay, so the audio part, I guess, will drop tonight because he's going to break everything on up. Let's see here. Hey, Alicia, welcome, and thank you for the jewels. I appreciate that, sis. Thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. What happened on the island with the young man's body was found in that nasty, dirty, filthy water, and don't nobody know what happened to him. Everybody is on the hush hush now. That part, Becca, is that the only shirt that Warren has or something? Right, because he wore that the last time, didn't he? I'm willing to bet it was Jack that yelled, "Damn it, Bart." Oh, that's a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, this is getting crazy. I know the Cito call is going to come out probably because we've seen a snippet of that yesterday on yesterday's live, what they said about the Cito call. Now, my thing is this. If you're going to debunk what the Cito call says, then why not tell us what y'all really said? Okay, because we know it was some things being said in the background. Okay, so how about y'all tell us what was really said if y'all are saying that that's not real? It's already been authenticated by several experts. Okay, and they're currently still doing that with, I believe, Attorney Ben Crump said that they're still working on that part too. Okay, so I'm just trying to see, why are y'all not trying to clear it up and tell us what it supposedly says, since we so wrong? That's what I'm not understanding. Okay, I'm gonna go with my own ears and what I heard. Let's see what y'all saying. Warren originally said he was on Bart's boat, explained how he ended up on Wyatt's boat and how they all had on different trunks if they want to impress me. Oh, now that is so true, Cameron Shell, because the pictures that he showed, they did have on different shorts. That's a good point. Tater needs another episode. He needs more money. Oh, yeah, you're going to break it up. They made that call to search to Cito. They made that call to search. Wait, to Cito? What are you talking about, Simone? Can you clarify that? Get Jackson. The case is bust wide open from the days before up until the present day, because he looks like he will talk first by himself. Linda said, how do you know that they didn't have anything to do with Nolan Wells' death when no one can't even tell the truth, nor no one, never the police officers, when it all went down, stopped the BS? Facts. The Cito call is not defamation. We were decoding what we heard. The Cito call is very incriminating. Right. What do you mean? What do he think about the Cito call? He made it. Okay. Right. They know about that call. They definitely know about that call. And my thing is, one second. My thing is If you're not telling us what happened, then to me, you're pretty much saying that it's all real. Okay. And what we heard. I want them to tell us why did they say damn it Bart? Like what did that mean? Okay. I really want to hear what that part meant. Now let me tune in to a little of Don Lemon's interview this morning as they kind of talked about what, his take on what the boys were saying. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I wanted to hear what they had to say about the parts that we kind of just watched. We'll see a little bit of this.
Oregon and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think those would have never happened, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion. And the fact that it was our best friend and it's not what people are saying it is what hurts the most. I mean, that was our brother. I mean, straight up. That's what I told his dad the night that he came over to my house. He was like, blah, blah, saying something. I was like, dude, that was my brother. Like, and you know that. He knows that. We were picking him up every single day. He never drove. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up in his driveway and picked him up. And it wasn't him asking. It was just because that's what we did. We just picked up Nolan all the time. That's how he, came about to all the stuff that we were going to. We'd go and pick him up. That's how much we like to be around him. We would do stuff like that all the time,
Wow.
You're muted, Don.
I said, Elliot, what do you think of that?
I think it's alarming. I think, there are two things I want to say. Number one, so having privilege, and I know privilege is some sort of it's a hot button word, and there's going to be people saying like, oh, you're race baiting and all that kind of stuff. But privilege, and particularly white privilege, it's having the expectation of comfort. And these young men have the expectation of comfort. And to say that like Nolan's mom blasted us when she posted a picture because she was missing her son, and because she said my son was with these boys, which was a statement of fact, is not blasting you. You're just upset that you are now in this uncomfortable situation, which I understand going viral for something like this all over the world is significant. But you have more remorse for the statements that the mom made, or more like, I wish that hadn't happened, instead of like, I wish we had not gone to the island in the first place. Instead of like, I wish Nolan was still here. Instead of, I wish one of us had stayed with Nolan. Like, it's just very, very odd presentation. I don't really understand it, but it is alarming that they're saying she's like blasting them when that is clearly not what's happening.
I said the same thing, right? Roger, he's playing football. Their season has started, so he's not going to be on the Andy Cohen setup. Because when I saw this interview, I said, what is this? The Andy Cohen reunion of Real Housewives of Ocean Springs? Okay, they got the whole setup, child. So he's playing college ball, okay, there at Wyoming college football. One thing I noticed, I read that. I really think Jax really do miss him. It's possible, Deidre. It's possible. Erica, she's another content creator on TikTok. I was going to show her update video that she did yesterday. She did 2 short ones yesterday.
One of them did say they wish that they hadn't gone to Horn Island at all, or their friend or their brother would still be here or still be alive.
I saw that, but if I charted how often they've said we wish this, and this versus that one statement, they're expressing regret and remorse over way other things other than things related to Nolan, and that's alarming. That's really odd presentation.
Mm-hmm. This is, let's see. I want to play now. We discussed the threats. I just talked about the threats. Let's play them discussing the threats, and you tell me your assessment of this, if there's any contradiction, or if it is, if you think that it is solid and on point. Here it is.
Can you give me some examples of what has happened? Have you guys had things happen online, threats online? Have you guys have any examples of people accosting you or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we have had countless death threats online. Been spotted. I'll let you elaborate more on that. Being spotted.
I mean, people have obviously just pointed us out. I mean, as a group and even on a one-on-one setting, I think it's really just like awkward because I don't want to talk about this, and I know my friends don't want to talk about this any more than we need to. We're still mourning one of our best friends' death, and it's hard to speak about it when, like sometimes we just need some alone time, or sometimes we just need to, lay back and not be around all this. And I mean, I've been called out in public, and I haven't been in public that much. I know my friends have had encounters in public. The threats have been insane from, my stepmom and my dad, my mom, everyone included, like even my brothers and my sisters. And it's just hard. I mean, it's unbelievable where like this has been taken to and the level where this is at.
When you say you've been called out in public, can you give me an example of like, what do you mean? People are threatening you with weapons? People are, not allowing you, deny you service? Because I heard that Trayston, he went to a corner store and they told him his money is not good there. They wouldn't even let him buy Gatorade.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing things like that or something totally different?
Right. I wouldn't say like that. I think I haven't been denied, anything, but like Trayston, it's hard to hear from a good friend of mine that he's getting denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull before work and having to
pause this real quick. This stood out to me because Trayston is like, their black friend. And he's describing the anyways, we can talk about that. I just want to point that out here. And the other thing is that he said that now it is true. I believe his stepmom, who's a judge, right? Is his stepmom the judge? She has received a threat, I believe, and there has been some sort of legal action around it. Okay, let's continue on.
Also, he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. He got called out at Walmart. Someone called him out at Walmart and was like asking him all these questions and trying to press him about it. And it's crazy to me. Like, we live in a very tight-knit community, and for people to, push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like, it's really hard. And I mean, I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have. So.
Okay. I mean, people get called out who are not public figures in the Walmart. Like that was my shit. Or what are you doing in here? Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying, but go on.
Well, go on to me. You're going to play more of the video because I got a lot to say about this.
I'm talking about you, Elliot.
Well, okay.
Again, I don't doubt.
And let me say this too. I was listening to Skull in the Gang one night, and he had a caller up that stated that she was allegedly from Ocean Springs, right? Now, I don't know how true this is, but she said the word around the the word around the town was that Warren had allegedly done it. So, I mean, in the town, because we don't know what people are saying there in the town. Is that the word in the town? Could that be why people would want to look at him a certain type of way or talk about him or possibly want to harm him? I'm not saying it's right, but I don't know what they're saying in town. And these kids, y'all know with kids, teenagers, it's hard for them to keep things in their little group. Okay. They tell their little best friend start talking, telling somebody else. Then they start telling somebody else. So what's the word? Those witnesses that were there, have any of them spoken out to their possible friends? Okay. And word is getting around as to what really happened in that town. Newsflash, Trayston is still black. So he would get the worst treatment, right? Now they are playing the victim. Yeah, I don't care about their hurt feelings or what happened to Nolan. Damn it, Bart. Okay, that part. We have no accountability, but don't call us out. If Tatum does an interview, you have to doc down notes, ask him about what was being said in the video call. Yes, that's what he needs to ask. If you're saying that this is not what's being stated, well, what did y'all say? Okay.
That they are, I don't doubt that they feel a certain way, but the team around them should hit them to the realities of the world. But go on.
Well, I think the bigger issue, and just to echo what I said before, they're just very uncomfortable because they went from being anonymous to being public figures overnight, which I acknowledge is incredibly uncomfortable. But there is no specificity to any of those threats. Now, you're also describing the plight of your one black friend who's being denied Gatorade. Number one, they're acknowledging that that has not been any of our experiences. And number two, that is not a threat. Like, so to say like we've been threatened, there's no specificity to those threats. There's never a moment where there was any kind of an alarm. And I heard you say earlier, Don, that you're no stranger to those kind of threats. And unfortunately, nor am I. And I'm also very aware that if I call the police, which I've had to do because people have put my personal information online, the police will say, without any specific threat, we really can't do anything. So there was absolutely no specificity to those threats at all. And one of the things that really drives me nuts, and I've said this before, and for some reason, a certain demographic of people have an incredibly hard time hearing what I'm about to say. Those three young men, they're all from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, but they're not from the same Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Because your racial experience, your socioeconomic experience, your experiences determine what your experience is in that place. So like Nolan being a person of color and these young men they're not really from the same place. So when they're like, we're from Ocean Springs and it's not like this, well, it's not like that for you, but you can't say that it's not like that for other people because you don't have the experiences from other people based upon your racial makeup, your socioeconomic status, your mother's employment status, your father's employment status, et cetera, et cetera. So when they're talking about like how great of this is the Ocean Springs community, it's like, but that's not really real because that's just your experience of the community, which is informed by many different factors that you might not be experiencing. It could be just as likely that Trayston kid wasn't given Gatorade because the people in the store racially didn't want to give him Gatorade, but you don't have that experience. That's not the way that you grew up, and you are not able to see it, but you should be able to empathize with it. And the biggest alarm of all of this is there is no empathy for the Black experience in this story. There's no empathy for the parents in the story. And to me, it is just incredibly frustrating, to say the least.
Okay. Thank you for that.
On a pause there. Shout out to Don Lindman and Elliot for their take on that interview. Kia said, I just want to share focus on the investigation on a young person who claimed to not have been on Horn Island on the 4th, but there are multiple photos and eyewitness accounts of them being there. Exactly. And if they say that the call is legit and they are definitely calling out Nolan's name and saying, Nolan, don't die and get the F up, then what? Okay, you have to get to the bottom of what was going on that boat, because all of their narratives, including the judge AC, the mama, his biological mama, they want to stand on what they said. Okay, because now everyone was thinking all of this time that Nolan was left on the island. But then if it shows that, now with the CETO call, it shows that Nolan is on the actual boat, that was a huge lie. Okay, that was debunked. A huge lie. Why don't you, all those little liars, apologize now and then tell the damn truth? Okay, you've been aware of details of that day well before they became public. The call is on their website. Yeah. So how are they lying again? I'm still trying to understand if it came directly from their website. Y'all need to take that up with the CETO people. Okay. Also, y'all, I was going to show the two videos from Nerdy Pink Panda. Hold on one second. Let me pull up the first one. She did yesterday. She hasn't done any today yet, but she did it over the little mini interviews that they showed, not the full clip. So let's do this first one. Make sure y'all tap that like button. It is for free.
I mean, he's on the phone. Wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something, or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at him or something? I mean, that you.
What an absolute wild thing to say when so many people have seen this video and slowed it down and noticed that there's either like a hand or a foot or something that comes flying up when they tug on the toe right there. Like, I can't believe that they said that. But please, please, please put out this interview. Please give me something to tear apart. Y'all, I swear I see Warren stop breathing when he starts this sentence, and he doesn't move again until he closes it out. Watch. They try to cover it up with an edit.
On the phone. Wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something? Or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at him or something. I mean, he's on the phone.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think that?
Now we could even see over into the boat. Now Karen Michelle had sent a video earlier, I believe, where it showed something moving, like behind one of the boys' legs. Now, my thing is still this. It's given we're trying to present this later on as part of an alibi. Why were you being distressed, taking photos and videos? Okay, for what? What was the point of it? They still haven't answered that question. Why did y'all feel the need to take a picture and do a video in that moment? Okay, it's still given. I'm just trying to have proof just in case. Of what? Of what? I just want to know that. Hey, Buttercup, welcome. Hey, Grayson, I wonder how truthful they are that they gave Nolan a ride to school every day. Right. Nolan's mom can post anything she wants to post about her son. She brought that child into this world. Ain't nobody got nothing to do with what she posts about her child. That's true. I definitely agree. Okay. So they haven't even explained that. So I don't know, y'all, because it seems like something moved on that boat. So let me play this one.
Day I must be a mad woman. With only 4 minutes of this video for me to work with, watch what I've noticed. Keep your eyes on this one and Warren, okay? Watch right after the first question.
What is your thoughts on that phone call to Cito? Some people have gone out and...
Did y'all see it? Did you all see them literally lock eyes? I'll do it again slower for you.
Some people have gone out and...
Warren wasn't ready for him to break eye contact yet. He wanted to say something with his eyes. Speaking of signals, because this guy really thought that nobody would notice. Now, I'm not sure who this guy is, but notice how he's wearing a hat that says Call Cox. Now, y'all remember that Bobby Cox is the mayor of Ocean Springs, and he's friends with these people. Cox is also the name of the lawyer that they hired first. Watch what I caught twice in 4 minutes.
That clip of all of us on the boat, who it is going to believe what they want to hear. If they want to believe that my friends and I had something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we crack your super secret code, dude? We'll just do baseball signals, guys. They'll never suspect. Which is honestly just a testament for how stupid these kids are. They have to have an adult sit in the interview with them and touch their hat. I can't wait for the rest of this interview. 2 videos in 1 day. I must be
okay. She is going to have a field day with this first full part one. I can only imagine. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they were doing the little hat signals. I wonder, y'all, so the mayor has the same name. Now, I wonder what happened with the first attorney that they had hired. Why didn't they keep him? Yeah, I love her too. I thought the mayor, yeah, that's what she just said. They do. They don't like her because she pieces all the stuff together. And I just found out the connection between this attorney and the Ashley Janae, the Joe McCann man, that he hired him as well with the Ashley Janae case. So I found that out over the weekend. I was like, wait a minute, I knew he looked familiar. OMG. Okay, Karen said I'm late. Hey, sis. Look, better late than never. Let's see here. Give me a second. Trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to share today. I think that was all as of right now. A lot of people, y'all, are looking at the body language in that interview, and they are paying attention to Jax. Yes, they are saying that Jax, I'm looking at some of the comments in the other videos, they're saying that Jax would break, okay, if he spoke up. Six Figure Day says he can't be trusted. He probably took his payment in crypto. Uh-oh. Hey, Catherine. They really are telling us what happened in bits and pieces. I told y'all. May she rest in peace. I still can't believe it. Right. I don't believe it. Okay. I will not think that that young lady unalived herself. And hey, I can't say he did it. We don't have any proof of that. However, it's definitely, I believe, in my opinion, some foul play that happened over there in that place. And they are not going to expose that because they don't want their resort to lose money. Okay. And they don't, it's already enough crime and things taking place over there, but they get a lot of money from tourism, and they would not have want an herder on their books there at that resort. First attorney probably told them to prepare to take a plea. Okay, Ebony, as I want to know what happened to the other attorney. They have two attorneys. One is a defamation lawyer and the other is a criminal lawyer. Oh, well, the Simpson man, Mr. Barr, he said that his coach said he didn't need a defense attorney because he hasn't been charged with anything. So why are they getting a defense or criminal attorney if they haven't been charged? Okay, so the first one was Morgan, the second one was Jax, and then Warren, and then their attorney, Edward Palzik, he's at the end. They will not allow this interview as evidence or audio evidence. I don't know. It depends on what the DA takes to the grand jury. Hey, D. Brown, Grand Rising. Hey, Teresa. That IG post by the Hispanic one is finally resurfacing. About, oh yeah, what happened with that? Because I've been seeing people talking about that, but I didn't know what had happened with that. Let's see what Kimberly been talking about, the Nolan Wells case updates, because she's back on it, y'all. I guess she said, look, baby, she said y'all ain't gonna be playing with her name. She done got back on and posting videos. Lord, I can't keep up. Too many people were asking her why she wasn't talking about the Nolan Wells case anymore. And child, she was popping off yesterday. Now all of a sudden I see she back at it. Oh my God. Did people unsubscribe or what happened? Okay, let's see here. Let me try to jump in here because I see some posts. Oh Lord, let's try to catch up, y'all. Because she is hilarious the way she talks about it. I'm gonna be honest, but she's smart too. Make sure y'all tap that like button. Let's see what's going on.
The Cito call and what we allegedly heard in the background, which did sound like somebody saying Nolan, okay? Or Nolan, wake up. Somebody needs to enhance that. Because what was going on? What are we alleging? We know something fishy was going on with Cito. So was he dying on the boat there? And yeah, I don't understand what was going on, but it does appear that Nolan was on that boat because I heard his name. So the best two theories was that something happened on the boat, and now we have to go back to the Cito call and what we allegedly heard in the background, which did sound like somebody.
I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did.
Warren, we don't have any record of you calling the Coast Guard. Can you please show us where it says you called the Coast Guard? Because from the records that I saw, Christine called the Coast Guard, and your little farting friend was the one listed on the report. So when did you call the Coast Guard, and why isn't that recorded anywhere? And if I'm wrong, please show me the paperwork so I can correct the record.
I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made.
Y'all, okay, she clocked that. She called him the little fart guy, but that's true. Okay, where's the proof? And remember, they did not see a call from him at first. It wasn't until after he came back out and said he had called, then they're like, oh yeah, we forgot about that one. How do y'all forget? It's supposed to be in the records. Okay, it's supposed to be in the records. How you feel threatened for your life because someone asked you a couple of questions. You can't speak for other people, right? Something happened on that boat. I was thinking that was a play, but can we cover it up? It was too natural. Exactly. Something did happen. Child, we need the proof. Okay.
All right, so I'm just confused. Let me get this straight. So the farter was not out there with y'all on Horn Island. He just happened to arrive right at the moment y'all were sinking on the phone with Cito to tow y'all out 3 miles, and then he went on about his way. But then the next day, his name popped up on the Coast Guard report, but Warren is the one who called the Coast Guard. So why did the Coast Guard get those names confused? I don't understand what's going on. I mean, can somebody please explain what's going on here? Because it seems like somebody's lying. All right, so I'm just confused. Let me get this straight. So I need to know who y'all are hiring to work at this Coast Guard. Y'all must be hiring the Walmart greeters. The Walmart greeters are the ones that must be working for the Mississippi Coast Guard, because the amount of mistakes that these fools are making. I need to know who y'all are hiring to work at this Coast Guard. I'm pretty sure right now, if you go to Officer Tatum's podcast and you find where Warren is talking about the boat sinking or whatever, you're going to find a ton of lies there. You're going to find out, you're going to be able to take that part of the interview, match it up with the Cito call to prove that they were not sinking at all. Because I bet you Warren is not using that verbiage in there, the same verbiage that was used on the Cito call, such as we're sinking, we're going down, we're in 31 foot of water, but we don't need the Coast Guard. So look, I don't know where.
I think she was just saying it to be hypothetical because she's saying that they're trying to make it look like the fart man wasn't there, or Simpson man wasn't there, right? She got me calling him fart man, but she knows that he was there. Okay, he didn't just come out of nowhere. Oh, blah, 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 because Warren had already said he asked him to take his boat out there, and he had said his father, the Simpson man's father, was not going to go. So you can't just say he came to tow y'all and left. No, he was there. We heard his name being called. Yes, so he was there. She was just being, trying to be hypothetical and funny.
That is, and I like my reason why I'm asking about the farter is because I thought I heard the Cajun Navy guy being like, oh, he was just trying to be a good Samaritan and help tow, and now so wait, what do you mean? So he was out there hanging out with y'all? Because Warren went on there and said his buddy brought his bro out, and then Warren went and said that, and then you got the Cajun Navy guy acting like he wasn't even there, and he just came to help out and be a good Samaritan. So who is lying to who here? The reason why I'm asking about the farter, like I said, court is a battle of your words. If you say I'm sinking, we're going down, we're in 31 foot of water, but then you can't tell the operator how far the water's coming up in the boat, there's way more evidence in court to suggest you were not sinking. Because if you say sinking to me in court, I'm thinking you mean Titanic, bitch. And I'm going to go calculate how long it takes a boat to sink with a broken bilge pump. I'm going to go calculate all that and prove that you were not sinking in court based on your own words. Now, did Warren say the boat was sinking, or did Warren say the boat started taking on water? Because right there, Warren's words do not corroborate what the Cito words were. So sinking was never a thing. Like I said, court is a battle of your words. If the boat was really sinking, you would have Warren on the podcast going, and the boat started sinking. And I can tell you right now, I don't think Warren said that on the podcast. Now, y'all can go find or tell me where it is in the fucking podcast so I can go find it, because I can't use the little AI thing that tells me where to fucking look. I'm telling you right now, Warren never said the boat was sinking. Whoever was on the phone said that, and those two words are going to be contradictory in court. The podcast versus the Cito call. If the boat was really sinking, you would have the lady on the...
And I know who you're talking about, too, who just said that a six-figure days. Yes, I think I showed that video. She did talk about that bilge pump and how if they rush out and didn't do something properly, then that's what would have caused that to happen. Not necessarily that they were already sinking and then, or, it already malfunctioned before they left. Yeah, she broke that thing down. No, she's not drunk. That's just how she talked, being funny and stuff. Asked them about the seat. He is in this next one that is coming out, probably part 2. Yes. Mm-hmm.
The Cito call, Vicky, was just like that lady from the 911 operator that hung up on everybody. She was like, hey, how far is it coming up? Is it to you? And he's like, I don't know. She's like, what is it to your ankles? Like, that lady was like, I mean, how many people on the boat? Nobody. How many adults on the boat? Nobody. Is anybody on the boat, sir? Is anybody breathing on the boat, sir? Like, the lady was getting so mad at him, she was just about to hang up and let him sink because they couldn't answer not one question. The only question they could answer that was really like affirmed was, do they need the Coast Guard? Oh, they heard that loud and clear and said no, definitively. The lady on the Cito called Vicky.
I think Vicky, she was getting frustrated when she said, are there any people living on the boat? I think she was saying that to be funny because she was getting frustrated with them. Like, quit playing, but she brought up a very, very good point. They heard, do y'all need the Coast Guard? He was really focused on that. He didn't want them to come out there for that. Yes, me too, inspiration. If you haven't done anything, why do you need an attorney? Only guilty people get attorneys. Not necessarily, Becca. I think some people, retain attorneys just to have, just in case. Yeah, but I'm not, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's no guilt there.
How bad are we sinking? We're sinking a little. We're sinking a little bit, just a little sinking. What's the difference between a little sinking and a big sinking? I don't know. I don't know here. I mean, we weren't like sinking. You know what I'm saying? But we were sinking. Oh, we were going down. We were definitely going down, but we weren't sinking, On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know, maybe like a 2.5 on the sinking scale. Like I said, we were sinking, but we weren't sinking, if you know what I mean. How bad are we sinking? Right here, People magazine summarized what Warren was stating about the depth of the water. Right here is a direct contradiction as to what the Cito call was said. They said on the Cito call they were in 31 foot of water. Hudson went on to speak about the depth of the water in the area their boat was, saying towards the stern, the water was waist deep, but towards the bow, the water was deeper. Okay? So from waist deep to 31 foot, how deep are we talking about there? Go find this part of the interview and tag me at the timing or send me the fucking clip. Because I know it's out there, but I'm not trying to sift through this shit. to look through the whole thing to find it. There's a little AI thing that you can click to find exactly where it is. I don't have that because I don't have the app no more. I have to use the internet part, the web, and it doesn't work. Right here, People Magazine.
Well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat.
So Warren, y'all was having boat issues, or was the boat sinking? Was the boat going down, or were y'all having boat issues, Warren?
Well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat.
So Warren, y'all was having boat issues.
And now that I think about it, young, was that intentional? Because his mom brought that up in her post about, he didn't even go out there with Nolan. Was the whole boat set up intentional too? Allegedly, like how he keeps saying, I was the first one to call the Coast Guard. I was the first one to call his mom. Well, let me just make sure I get on a different boat so I won't be the one that got on the boat with Nolan. Okay, come on now. It's making me think about some stuff. Another slip of the tongue. Right, exactly. Tracy said Wyatt boat was still in the water on the 5th. So you got on the track. Right. That's interesting.
How big of an issue is it when the boat's sinking? Well, it's a pretty big issue. Pretty big issue if the boat was going down, huh? Well, like I said, we were sinking, but we weren't sinking. How big of an issue is it when the boat's sinking? Well, it's a pretty big issue. Pretty big issue if the boat was going down.
And you're right. He left out with Bart. On Mama Magazine, came back with Warren. So was Nolan allegedly on Bart's boat? He wanted to make sure he wasn't putting himself in position to be on that boat thin. Come on now. I didn't even think about that before. Money man, are you silly? You notice Warren stumbles a lot over his words in these interviews? Yes. Right. Right, Ann. Wow. Wyatt said we want to get this boat unsunk. Yeah, he did. That's what he said. Wow.
You just murdered your best friend on an island. The dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard.
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that. If you just murdered your best friend on an island, the dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard.
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
That's what I was saying. What point was he trying to make? Because they didn't. You just made them look more guilty, sir. OMG.
If you just murdered your best friend on an island, the dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard.
I know, Uncle Rico. That's why we never called the Coast Guard. Do you think we're fucking dumb? You think we're dumb murderers now? I mean, ain't you heard the call? We denied Coast Guard assistance because we are smart murderers. We're not dumb murderers. Thank you very much.
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that. If you just murdered your best friend on an island, the dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard.
I know, Uncle Rico. That's why we never called. Y'all made me go on this podcast again, and they caught me in another life. Again, Mom. I told you, you made me bring Uncle Rico. He made us look like fucking Boo Boo the Fool again, too. Mom, We have lawyers. Why are we going on podcasts, Mom? Why are you making me go on this podcast with this black guy that don't even like us and he's just pretending to like us to catch us in lies, Mom? This looks bad, Mom. Please don't make us go on no more podcasts. Y'all made me go on this podcast again and they caught me.
Warren, baby, he gonna throw a whole tantrum after this one because this time also he looked dumber. Okay, he mad at Jax. He probably had a whole fit. The sheriff started the division by saying no foul play. Right, Puna? I agree. Because Mom was already a fan of the officer and thought it would help. Not a fan. Oh my God.
We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and like.
Now, that's 2 times Warren was talking about the boat having issues. How big of an issue is sinking? Would you say a sinking boat going down in 31 foot of water is a little issue or a big issue? Or what do you mean by issues? What issues was the boat having, Warren? This is the second time you used the word issues. It's almost like somebody told you to use that word. That is not the word that they told the Cito operator. They told Vicky the boat was sinking and going down in 31 foot of water. So, issues, huh? Interesting word.
We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and like.
Now, yep, this is the Titanic. We're having a little bit of an issue. We hit an iceberg. Yep, a little bit of an issue going on here. Can y'all send somebody or? Just a little issue, yeah. All right. Okay, well, hold tight. Thank you. No, we don't need the Coast Guard. I know. It's just an issue. Thank you. Yep, this is the Titanic. We're having a little bit of an issue. Yeah, we in the water right now, waiting to be rescued because our boat had an issue. What kind of issue? Well, it sunk to the bottom of the fucking ocean, but yeah, it was sinking. No, it's just a little issue though. Was it sinking or was it an issue? I don't know. All I know is that I'm freezing my ass off. Okay, hold on, Jack. Hold on. Ma, how long we been sinking? Yeah, we in the water right now, waiting to be rescued because our boat had an issue. What kind of issue? Well, it sunk to the bottom of the fucking ocean, but yeah, it was sinking. No, it's just a little issue though. Was it sinking or was it an issue? I don't know. All I know is that I'm freezing my ass off. Okay, hold on, Jack. Hold on, Ma. How long we been sinking? Yeah, we in the water right. What do you mean sinking is the biggest issue a boat could have? Yeah? No. You know, the biggest issue a boat could have is us having a dead body on it and trying to figure out what the fuck to do. That's the big sinking is not that big of an issue when you look at that. Yeah, like I said, we was sinking. Of all the evidence that they have of why they were not sinking, and now we add Warren's statements in there, okay? Warren went on 2 podcasts and claimed the boat had issues. Not once did he claim the boat was sinking or going down in 31 foot of water, and furthermore, he claimed that the boat was actually in waist-deep water. So there we did. We have all of this list of every single reason why the boat was not sinking. Keep building the list. So now we go back to our list of all the evidence that they have of why they were not sinking. And now we add Warren's statements in there. Okay. Warren went on 2 podcasts and claimed the boat had issues. Not once did he claim the boat was sinking or going down in 31 foot of water. And furthermore, he claimed that the boat was actually in waist deep water. So there we did. We have all of this list of every single reason why the boat was not sinking. keep building the list. So now we go back to our list.
We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
It looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking. Yes.
Is it aground is the question?
Oh, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask.
We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and like when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with to get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having boat issues, and when I got on the boat.
So Warren, y'all was having boat issues, or was the boat sinking? Was the boat going down, or were y'all having boat issues?
We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far?
Okay, now that's what we need to cue in Wyatt, because Wyatt is the one that said they were sinking. See, I don't know if they were on one accord with that. I'm glad she's highlighting that. Wyatt was the one making the phone call. Okay. He's saying sinking, but Warren, the times he's talked about, and that's a very good point, he has said boat issues. I got to go back and find that clip too, and I want to get a longer part of that. Did he use the word sinking, or did he say boat issues? Because that is a good point. Your words are important in the court of law because those are two different things. And it also would demonstrate urgency as well. He like, what the hell she mean by ankles, right? Waist deep equals sinking. Okay, I didn't know we're going down though. Was extremely calm, right? He just said who got on the boat, who he got on the boat with. Yes, Teresa, he did. He did. Shout out to Irma. Thank you for the super sticker and for being a sponsor. Hey, CDB, she said they need to make Vicky swear under oath what all she heard on that call. I agree. I definitely agree.
Is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
It looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Yes.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking. Yes.
Is it aground is the question?
Oh, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask.
We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and like when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with to get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having boat issues, and
if you were in a plane crash, how would you describe that? Would you be like, oh, the plane had a little bit of an issue that we're on? I mean, Wyatt clearly told the operator, we're sinking, we're going down, we're in 31 or 17. We didn't even know, he didn't know how far the water was rising up in the boat, but he knew how the depth of the water that the boat was in. And then you've got Warren just nonchalantly saying, no, the boat was having some issues. We were all in waist deep water. So those two stories right there, as I told you before I even listened, I knew they were going to be conflicting because I knew Warren wasn't going to be on no podcast saying the boat was sinking. Because when Warren did the podcast, we didn't have the full CTEL audio. So I know that. That's why I had to go get the verbiage he actually used. Because if the boat's really sinking, you're not going to say it was an issue. If you were in a plane crash.
That's a very good point. Wow. And shout out to Purple Virgo for the super sticker and for being a sponsor. And also someone just bought a coffee. Thank you so much for being sponsors of today's live.
Wyatt's on the phone with Cito in that clip. I mean, he's on the phone. Wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something?
Oh, we didn't see him. We heard y'all calling his name. We heard that. Our ears were. We heard y'all calling his name.
Why would we call Cito if we have a dead body on the boat?
Because y'all needed to make up a sinking story for an alibi.
I mean, why would we call the Coast Guard? You know, why?
Okay, we've already established you didn't call the Coast Guard. In fact, you denied Coast Guard assistance.
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
Wyatt's on the phone with Cito.
Okay, she eating them up today. Oh my gosh.
And we have another expulsion from Bedroom Law School. My favorite part of class is expelling. All right, now let's go back to Judge Cole's statement of misconduct, okay? She says they left around 4:30 when the boat was taking on water. She didn't say the boat was sinking. Again, she didn't say the boat was going down. Taking on water, having an issue, is way different than having an emergency sinking, okay? So, again, here's another piece of evidence to add to the list of why the boat was not sinking. Because even the judge came with her cute little blonde face to let everyone know the boat was in fact not sinking. All right, now let's go back to Judge Cole's statement of misconduct, okay? Here's why this is a crucial piece of evidence. Because taking on water means water enters the boat, but the status is the boat still floats. Sinking means too much water enters the boat and the weight of the water becomes greater than the upward push of the water, which means the boat goes below the water, okay? So these two things are crucial pieces of evidence that mean different things. And we've got one person claiming sinking and a very, very adamant claim of sinking. We've got another person, a judge, claiming taking on water. And then we've got another person on a podcast claiming boat had issues. This is very important evidence to prove the boat was not sinking. Here's why this is a crucial piece of evidence. Because taking on water means water enters the
Y'all see that it says taking on water means water is leaking into the boat's hull, which can often be managed with bilge pumps or repairs. Sinking means the water intake has overwhelmed the boat, causing it to lose all buoyancy and going under the water. So that's why she's showing why verbiage is important.
All right, I'm gonna get it right this time. So the boat was taking on water. It was sinking. Okay, so we was having boat issues. Okay, it was sinking. God damn it. And we were in waist deep water. Stop hitting me, Mom. Fuck, all right. We were in 17 foot of water, 30 foot of, I don't know, Mom. How long were we sinking? All right, I'm gonna get it right this time. Now, imagine if you were in a car and you called 911 and you were like, hi, yeah, the car is crashing. And they were like, well, is it crashed yet? Or is it, no, it's crashing. Okay, how fast are you going? I don't know. Where's it crashing? Is it crashing into a tree? What do you mean it's crashing? I don't know. The car is just crashing. Can y'all send someone? Well, when is it going to actually be crashed? Because we've been on the phone for 10 minutes and y'all ain't crashed yet? So what the fuck? What are you talking about? Now, imagine if you were in a car and you called 911 and you were like, hi, yeah, the car is crashing. And they were like, well, is it crashed yet? Or is it, no, it's.
But that's exactly what it sounded like when he couldn't say. Because if you sinking, child, you ain't on the phone. You ain't on the phone. Child, this thing here tickled me. I like this example. Okay, she is. That's so true. That's how dumb it sounded. Okay.
Last time I saw Nolan was 3:00, and Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And
Okay, Warren. So the last time you saw Nolan was at 3 o'clock, correct? Because you just said that. But the boat left at 4:30. So how are you yelling for Nolan to get on the boat? You were yelling for 90 minutes. Y'all were now yelling for 90 minutes for Nolan to come get on a sinking boat. But the last time you saw Nolan was at 3 o'clock, but y'all left at 4:30. Make that make sense, please.
Last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl.
It is impossible for y'all to have last seen Nolan at 3 o'clock and simultaneously been yelling for him to get on the boat at 4:30 p.m. when the boat was leaving. Furthermore, why would you be yelling for Nolan to come get on a sinking boat? That doesn't make sense, and that is inconsistent. It is impossible for y'all to have last seen.
Someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, oh, I just got in a fight. And this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back. And then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an armbar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there, it was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age. And I mean, Nolan, I never saw Nolan over there.
So the guy that they pulled away, you don't know who that was? You don't know who the guy they pulled away might have been? I think I might know who the guy they pulled away might have been.
Someone was...
That's a good point. You know he knows, but he's trying to, whoever it was that they pulled away, he's not going to try to say that name. Okay, come on now. He tried to get ahead of that CETO call, adding that GTF on the boat line. Yes, old dude, that's true. Why are they referring to Katie as that Katie girl like they don't know her? And they're friends on Facebook. Now, I didn't see, I know Trayston and Javon was, I'm not sure if Warren was. Warren knows people that know Katie, though. You see what I'm saying? Like they were trying to make it like she was an unknown female. No, some people in y'all group knew who Katie was. And it does give jealousy, the way that they referred to her and what Nolan was doing with her. Like, come on, y'all were watching him too much. But then in another breath, you're saying, no, I wasn't watching just one particular person during the day. Y'all must have been watching Nolan and Katie, though. They sit in big mad if they've seen this. Exactly. This is exactly why kids need supervision. Adults got to be held accountable for this too. Who told him to tell that lie about cradling Katie? I need to hear her story. Right, great point. Last seen at 3 p.m. and then call for him at 4:30. So last seen at 4:30 to get on the boat. That part. I'm glad she clocked that. Hey, King David, if the boat is having issues where you are already at, it's a safe place to fix it. Why take it out into deeper water? Exactly. With the possibility of getting stranded or sinking completely with 8 people on board. That part. Either his brother, some people thought it could have been allegedly Nolan during that time. I wish we could all be on the upcoming jury. Okay. Close-knit community, but he doesn't know nobody, and I do mean nobody's name. Okay, please watch your language, profanity, or misspell bad words. Okay, thank you, Mama Magazine. They keep wanting people to focus on her. That's why, so people won't focus on them. Clock it. Simone said, and didn't Katie go to the party? That's what we're hearing. At first, we weren't hearing that. Okay, at first, we weren't hearing that part. They know all the interactions, but don't know nothing else. Exactly. Nolan was on the boat with him. He wanted his phone back. She's Katie girl because she turned on them and told Christine everything, and they know it. Christine knows too much, and they know Katie told it. You think Katie told everything? Just ghetto fighting on the island. I thought they didn't do these kind of things. That's what I said. I was like, they were sounding ghetto out there. All these fights and drunk people. Okay, that part.
I've already expelled this student.
Someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, oh, I just got in a fight. And this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back. And then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an armbar. Someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, oh, I just got in a fight. And this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back. And then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an armbar. Someone was
So y'all see her caption on this one. She says, "These are great questions. What does mentioning an armbar mean when Nolan is missing a neck? And this proves that Nolan was not in the fight, right? Well, it proves someone was pulled away, and Warren can't confirm who that was." Ooh, uh-oh. Because he did specify, because I was like, what's an armbar? And I had to look that up. Okay, because hey, baby, that's a good point as well. Come on, y'all better clock it today. Okay, what is boat transom? Tomorrow you need to become familiar with a transom is and what trimming down a motor means. Uh-oh, so I think that's how she
I gotta tell you, the fact that we're gonna catch these kids steadily impeaching themselves doesn't really help. Because if they're impeached on one issue, we can't like use what they're saying to prove another issue that's to our convenience. You know what I'm saying? Either they're lying and nothing that they say can be trusted, or, you know, they're not lying and we use what they're saying against them. So, hey, man, this case is so fucked. Hey, DA, just throw some charges, bruh. You know they're not going to get convicted. Just throw a couple of charges out there so we can wrap this up, please, Angel. It's getting to be a little much now, Angel. I'm going to start billing you, Angel. Oh, I got to tell you, all right, now this is supposedly the alleged picture that Officer Doofy released when Wyatt was allegedly on the phone with Cito. There looks like, I don't think it looks like a hand to me. See where that little hand is? There's something sticking up right there. To me, it looks like a foot. Now, I'm going to play you the video.
Yes, I look at this.
I don't know what's going on in this picture. I don't even know if this picture can be confirmed. It's at the time that they say it's at or any of that stuff. But pay attention to this part of the boat and you'll see something weird.
Okay, so Nolan Wells, 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Pay attention. But from the guy with his hand up and supposedly Wyatt on the phone contacting Cito. There will be a hand as they're pulling the rope. There will be a hand right there. I kept zooming in so you can catch it. The hand that flops up and flops back down once the rope is pulled. Do you see it? Right between the guy with the blue shorts on with his hand reaching up in the air and Wyatt on the phone. Look down right there. See? Did anyone see that hand?
All right. Now, this is supposedly the alleged picture that Officer Doofy released.
I see something sticking up. What y'all think? Let me see what y'all saying. Now, how do we know that photo was from the 4th? Think about that. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't confirmed any timestamps or anything about that photo. It looks staged to me. Being adopted by a YT family, growing up with mainly YT, drinking, a lot of stupid, fighting, always get stupid. That photo is not the same day, different clothes. That's what we were saying earlier. It looks more like a foot. Tater Tot thinks he's helping. He is helping them sink themselves. Right. The lies are unreal. It's a leg or a hand or a foot. Okay, you say it's not the same day, then that makes this behavior ritual. Then foot, hand, I don't know. Queen Shailene say, "Child, look, we ain't gonna even get stuck on it because I don't know either." Yeah, it's too much. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was my first time hearing that.
Now, I did see something popping up there. Okay, another thing is go back to that interview yesterday, okay, with the 4 of them. And they were like, really like, well, where would he be? Just laying on the boat down there? We would all be looking at, like, they kind of like explained exactly where he would have been on the boat. That was very weird that they used those words.
That clip of all of us on the boat, you know, as it's rolling, not rolling, but right there sitting in the water. Wyatt's on the phone with Cito in that clip. I mean, he's on the phone. Wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something? Or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at them or something. I mean, it's just so crazy.
Y'all, that is
Now,
scary.
I did see.
I get her point on that.
Couldn't you?
Okay, I get her point. They did specifically say that. And this morning I said, well, we couldn't see on the boat anyways at the, the floor of the boat. But for him to say that, and then we see, oh, I don't know. Wow, that is a little eerie. All these pics in their interviews always come out after they see, right, Simone, they be watching. I agree. I hadn't thought about it. It's a very good point. Yeah, it's a very good point.
Like, wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something, or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at him or something? I mean,
You got that right, Jax. We definitely saw something. There was definitely an or something down there. We y'all scrambling in the pot looking at him. I don't know. That is what I kind of saw. He's like, wouldn't you have seen Nolan in the boat when we were all on the floor and then we were all looking at him and his fucking leg popped up? It's kind of actually what we all saw. Jax, I'm assuming that's Jax. Which, man, why did y'all let Jax talk? Jax had nothing on Jax. Now y'all letting Jax talk.
wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something, or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at him or something? I mean,
Again, the privilege.
Let's see what y'all said. OB, this is long. That got Trent asked TMZ for the metadata. They lied and said they had it from Tatum. Then Tatum doesn't have it. So this video will very well be a moving picture. It could be a moving picture, not a video. Oh, possibly. I didn't know that they didn't have the metadata. Okay. Nolan could have been on B. That's what I keep saying. He could have been on the other boat that was taking the picture. Right. Why was he calling for Nolan to get the F up? Whoever that was calling for him. Yeah. Right. And because no one is moving. I got you. Okay. I just read that the armbar move can leave bruising to the back of the head. Yeah, I saw that too. So they can create reasonable doubt. That's a setup to establish grounds for a suit. Jax wanted the spotlight. Hey, Lele, go harder. I've been asking about that hand for a while. That's the day we discovered Katie and Gabriel was also on the boat. Oh, okay, got you. Because, see, I had never seen that. They definitely watching the internet. Every time the public figures something out, they spin back. That's what I'm saying. They playing our game at this point. And really, we're not playing a game. We want the truth. But see, what we have them doing is they're listening to see what we're, uncovering, figuring out. And they like, oh, man, we got to start up. Okay, let's come up with something else. They already figured, they done figured that part out. So who was recording them at this time? And why were they recording them? That's my question, Teresa. It doesn't make sense if you were in a whole emergency. A liar's thinking is to state the obvious and declare it's ridiculous. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Okay. This is where Morgan and Warren were about to lose it on Jax. Yes, we saw that. Ladies, this is the first podcast that I have watched more than 30 minutes. I like that. Keep it up. Thank you, Virgo lady. I appreciate you tapping in. Right, Jared King. We want the truth. They know that video is fake. They really selling on themselves. Right. Exactly.
It was just so blinding. Like, we never had nothing on Jax, except that's where they left from. Now we've got Jax on tape saying a whole bunch of bullshit. And it's like, these kids have lawyers? How do you lawyer up and then your lawyer lets you go on a podcast? I mean, the privilege is so blinding. They really are just playing in their faces. They really just think, because of what their last names are, that they're just going to go up on these podcasts and they're going to set the record straight. And it's like they don't even, like, we had nothing on Jax. Jax has been quiet this whole time. And now all of a sudden Jax wants to come and set the record straight. And it looks like he described exactly what we saw. Or something going on at the bottom of the boat where everybody was staring at. Again, the privilege is so blinding. Like, we never had nothing on Jax. So I went to Officer Tatum's page to get the actual video to see if we are seeing the same thing. I went into CapCut to zoom in and slow it down. I don't know what that is. It would be nice if the Goofy could remove his watermark so we could actually study what the fuck's going on. I mean, you really need promotion that bad. You got to keep your big watermark right in the middle of the chain of evidence, huh? Anyway, I don't know what that is. Is it a foot? Is it a hand? Is it a paddle? I don't know what it is. Why is he pull? What is the rope being used for in the middle of the boat? What is going on here? And if they're sinking, look at that guy just chilling, holding and chilling. Oh yeah, we sinking. Y'all don't look like y'all sinking at all, pal. I tell you what, the most convincing guy on the whole boat is the one right there in the middle, the one just holding. That guy looks like he's on a sinking boat, huh? That guy's just holding, just chilling, just looking around, like, hey, dickhead, you want to help us out? The boat's sinking. What you doing? You just chilling up there, fucking sunbathing over here? Did you know the boat was sinking, sir? You mind lending us a hand, or what's going on? Never mind, we got a hand. It's right at the bottom of the boat right there. Watch it pop up.
I cannot.
I tell you, as much as these motherfuckers hate me, I know they watching some of this comedy and they laughing. I know they can't help themselves. I know they watching some of this comedy that I'm writing and they laughing their fucking asses off. And guess what? You might say this is not a situation to laugh about. Look, as a comedian, my job is to transmute trauma into laughter, okay? And regardless of if you laugh or cry, it ain't going to change the result. So I would rather laugh. That's my coping mechanism. That's how I get through things. And I know these motherfuckers just laughing at the shit that I'm writing. I know they are. Because ain't no fucking way, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, the comedy that I got from this is just crazy. I tell you, as much as these motherfuckers hate me, I know.
Originally, she is going in, eating them up today. Right, Sugar Mama Man? Okay. Wyatt has a red, white, and blue trunks, but they pulled off with him having on blue with white trim. This is a joke. Yeah, they definitely, something is up with the outfits, okay? I don't know if they tried to put this through ChatGPT and it just messed it up with some different clothes, and they did not look over it and say, oh, we need to fix that. You know, it's not giving real.
This is allegedly the picture they took, the last picture of Nolan ever took, right? Now, who are these people, okay? And, you know, now it is time to compare what these people, who are these people, what do they have on, and then what is the other.
Now, on the left is Morgan, okay? Morgan is the one that was on the interview, Warren's brother. He had on the white shirt first to the left on the interview that we just watched. That is Morgan. Jax is next to him. That's the one that was in the middle during the interview next to Warren, okay, on Warren's left side. Then you have Nolan, and then on the right of Nolan is Eric. Eric is the one who recently a post was shared, or I guess not shared, but people have started talking about it, where they said when your parents ask you how your day was and you admit you've done something that could get you 10 years or something to that effect. That's Eric. We don't hear about him too much, okay? We really haven't heard too much about Morgan, but he's in this photo right here. I don't know, even from these photos, y'all, Warren is not in these photos. So I don't know why they come with all this. The mom was putting coming for us. You weren't even in the photo, in these photos, this one. The other one, I think, is Nolan and Jax. So I got to go through some of the others, but those are like the other pictures. I don't even think it was from the time of the trip. So I'm still trying to understand that. Yeah, she got time today. Yes, I did notice that. I just laughed so hard on my lunch. Yes, we needed the laughter. And she's not making fun of the situation that Nolan is gone or anything like that, but some of the foolishness that they got going on. Laughter is hard right now. I keep looking at my son who goes to school in the suburbs. Yeah, it's a serious topic. And may God protect your son. They probably destroyed the day of clothes to get rid of evidence and did their best buying new stuff that matches. A thorough investigation would expose that if it's the truth. Right. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, got you. No, Wyatt, he looks a little different. He was in a video I showed over the weekend. Wait, no, that was his brother, Ike. I gotta find another picture of Wyatt. Is Nolan on the boat in that video? I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. Why would you invite somebody on a sinking boat? Yes, that didn't make sense. Oh, he made his page private? Oh, wow.
What do the other people in the boat have on? What do the other people in the boat have on? Well, all these people need to be identified on the boat because we know why it's on the phone. Who's, the one just chilling? Who's the one with the back towards us? There's two girls back there. Who's the one with the rope? And are these any of the same people that were in that first picture?
I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom. No water's coming out, no access water's coming out. And, it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat. And at some point the boat was very, very crowded and there was just a lot of people on. So that it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours. The boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down.
So the boat was overcrowded, and y'all was still calling Nolan to come get on an overcrowded sinking boat. And trimming down. I mean, from what I've read, I'm not too familiar with these terms. That's why I said you have to look at them. Trimming down, from what I read, is when you're trying to get through choppy waves. And it has nothing to do with water being in a boat, but more of like the angle the motor is tilted. So you knew there were 6 inches of water definitively in the boat, but Wyatt could not tell the operator how far the water was coming up. So that's an interesting piece of evidence.
I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom.
And then I got on the starboard side of the transom and overlooked the gobbledygook. And then I had to step over the flux capacitor because there were so many people on the boat. And then I was trimming down the flux capacitor. And then the gobbledygook became full of water. But we were yelling for Nolan to come get on the boat because we was overcrowded and it was sinking. But like I said, when I was trimming down the flux capacitor, it had about 12 inches of water over the battery of the transom. And then we were all like, wake up, bilge pump. And then it woke up and we were able to leave. And then I got on the starboard side of the transom and overlooked the gobbledygook. And then I had to step over the flux capacitor because there were so many people on the boat. And then I was trimming down the flux capacitor, and then the gobbledygook became full of water. But we were yelling for the boat sinking. Hold on, I gotta finish this level of Candy Crush real quick. I'm almost there. How bad is it sinking? I got at least 10 more minutes. Huh? All right, y'all don't need no help or nothing. All right, cool. All right, let me know when y'all get that plug pulled. The boat sinking? Hold on, I gotta finish this level of.
Could have been worse.
Oh my God, y'all. I cannot. Yeah, exactly. When she puts it into like the comedy part of that, it really makes it look dumb what they're trying to get over with the whole calls and so forth. It's just crazy work. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Kimberly, y'all. She had time today. Okay, now yesterday she was over there cussing everybody out. Okay. She was cussing everybody out, trying to came asking her, why you not covering the Nolan Wells case? Well, guess what? She had time today. Now, I don't know if she's still being sued or, still going after her for defamation or what. Maybe they've worked that out. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else about that. But the Simpson man, he's at college now. It's a new football season. Y'all know football season is coming up right now. So right now he's not bothered. His coach said he's not a suspect, hasn't been. So we're going to see, because earlier we talked about how there may be a competition or a division, not competition, but like a division right now. And when it all boils down, they have witnesses and so forth. Who will people go with? The Simpson man or Warren? Okay. Or look, will Wyatt be a part of this conversation? We don't know. She said, now take that, clock it. Okay, because she came full force today. She was not playing. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that was all that I had for today. Thank you all so much for joining and hanging out with me. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It is for free. Also, shout out to the mods that were in the building on today and our sponsors, Caramel Shell, Hassan. Thank you for gifting a membership. Stephen, Alicia, Irma, and Purple Virgo. Thank you all for being sponsors. And also whoever sent the coffee, thank you as well for being a sponsor. Kimbra, she failed the bar 3 times. I don't know. Virgo Lady says, anyone else as mad as I am? A lot of people are. Thank you, Melanin Queen. A lot of people are. It is ridiculous, though. I will say this. I will say that these interviews are not helping the situation, and it definitely shows a lot of the inconsistencies more so, and that they're trying to fix things and fill in some blanks. But y'all, it's actually exposing more of the lies. Okay. It's actually exposing more of the lies. Thank you, Inspiration. Thank you, Stephen. So yeah, I guess tonight they'll drop the CETO call portion, because you're gonna break it up, then put it back together as one whole video. At least she showed a degree. Right. Okay. I'm just like, child, these people tripped me out. It was probably too much weight on the boat. That could have been an issue too. Yeah. You too, Inspiration. Thank you for chilling out. Karen Michelle, thank you, sis. Ann said, thank you so much for all you are doing. Much love from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Justice for Nolan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for also joining us today. And thank you all for hanging out. Make sure y'all hype up the video. Also, check out the other videos from yesterday and this morning if you have not already done so, because I was having some issues with StreamYard on yesterday. And so we had done one little reveal of this lawyer that they hired and how he was connected to another case on one video. Then I came back and we looked at another video with the Officer Taterhead that he had with Como. And during that interview, y'all, he had spilled, I should say, he had spilled some tea that I don't think he was supposed to be saying. Okay. And so tap into that video as well. Her name is Kimbra Lee. She's on IG. Thank you, old dude. Let me put it in the chat. I think it's KY. Yeah. Thank you, Phenomenal Scorpio. I appreciate it. And thank you from Las Vegas, a place I want to go visit one day. Okay. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna definitely get there. But thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day. And until next time, be blessed. Talk to y'all later.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.